If you say so, Matt.
Was going to be a perfect launch and then technical difficulties as always, so that's fine. Alrighty.
I got nervous.
Welcome, everyone, to the 2023 U.S. Masters Cast. We will be reading off 64 players' lists on 32 different tables. As always, fun technical difficulties before the start of a matchup cast is great. This will be the U.S. Masters hosted in Oklahoma, specifically Nebraska. With me, I have Felix Castro.
Hello.
Travis Tim.
Hey.
Kyle Poole.
Heyo.
And Corey Reynolds.
Up.
So, joining me to get through this and read off the first fantasy draft that we've had for U.S. Masters, where we got 90 responses to the survey. Thank you all for that. That makes it more fun. Starting us off, table 1, we've got Kyle Poole versus Brian Rink.
All right, Travis, you want to take Kyle's list?
Yeah, I think I better. All right, Kyle's taking the totally not scary trash meta Goblin Hug Giver list. He has 4 regiments of Goblin Rabble, 4 hordes, all with special names, and we have no time, otherwise Matt might yell at me. But I want to read them really badly. 3 War Trombones, a Mop-Up Launcher, because he had 75 points left. 2 Goblin Blasters, 3 Mincers with names that shall not be named. 3 Wingets with the Bombs Away, a King with the Grunny Snark upgrade, a Bang It with the Inspiring Talisman, Magua, a King on Chariot with Orb of Towering Presence for 24 units and 30 unit strength.
Pretty good. All right, and I'll read off Brian's list. So Brian's from my home region in the Northeast. He's running Elves. So we've got a regiment of Gladestalkers with the Fire Oil. We've got a horde of Seaguard with the Hammer of Measured Force. We've got a regiment of Forest Shamblers. We've got a troop of Silver Breeze. We've got a regiment of Stormwind Cav with the Quicksilver Lancers upgrade and the Brew of Strength. We've got a horde of Dracons with the Boots of Striding. We've got 2 Bolt Throwers. We've got 2 Archmages, 1 Obligatory on a Horse, Boots of Levitation, Alchemist Curse. The other one with the Periscope and Mind Fog 3 and Celestial Restoration 3 as well. We've got Argus Rodinar, and then we've got the formation with the 2 regiments of Nimble Dracons and the Dracon Lord.
$14 units and 21 unit strength.
Yep.
Gotcha, Corey.
Looks tiny in comparison. Looks tiny.
In terms of the viewers at home, we had a 90% vote for Kyle here to take it home. Corey, what does Brian need to do to beat up Kyle?
Oh my God, there's so much stuff to kill. I just don't know that Brian's list can chew through all of it. It's so much stuff. I mean, Brian's good and the list is good, but man, it's just so much meat. Just so much meat. And once the elves start losing units, it all just snowballs from there. So you just can't, I don't think you can keep up with the goblin trash.
Yeah, I'd say probably step 2, if that all fails, table flip. That's the one way to do it. But yeah, you're right. Carter's right there. That's just a lot to chew through. I mean, elves could potentially get it down to close, but yeah, it's tough. It's a lot to chew through.
Yeah, normally I like the bolt throwers, but against Kyle, the bolt throwers just don't do a heck of a lot. There's just no great targets for them. Sorry, Brian. I love you, buddy, but this one looks like a tough one, man.
All right, well, flipping up to table 2 here, which I'll have to get set up in just a second. We've got Dustin Church versus Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio.
It's good with you,
Is that Ricky Rubio's twin brother?
Marcelo Rucco, Jesus.
I'll take
was just gonna-
Marcelo's
That
list.
one's on me. Normally, I'm just bad at pronouncing names, but that was just me just completely losing it. What
That's
on
just
earth
me
is going
Yeah,
on?
Right. I'll take
I'll read
Marcelo's.
the herd list.
Oh, hold on.
Right.
Hold on.
I'll go ahead and go first.
Slow down
Oh,
a second.
my bad.
Slow your
We're
roll.
we're
Kyle.
ready to keep the pace.
I know. But even on my side, the thing is just this is going to take more time because it's not Dropbox.
No, that's fine. I'll just get drunk.
So, flip over to table 2. We have what the hell?
I don't know.
Fix it, Travis.
I'll just wait, Senpai.
Hold on a second. I don't know what the everything broke today. So unbelievably vivid. All right.
Luke wants to know what's on the
There
cup.
he is, Marco Rubio.
So just I know what happened. Hold on. I'll at least fix it, but at least I hope I can fix it. All right. Everything broke. That's my excuse. All right. Let's get to table 2. Get this right. There we go. Much better.
You just
Closer,
let me.
at least. Still not great. Better. There we go. Jesus. Marcelo Rucco out of Pennsylvania.
Let me start reading. So he's bringing Order of the Green Lady. Starting off with 2 regiments of Heart Piercers. Got 2 Order of the Redemption Cavalry regiments. 1 with Bruce Sharpness and 1 with Blessing of the Gods. He's got 3 Hordes of the Order of the Forsaken, which are the flying ones. 1 with Sir Jesse's Boots of Striding and 1 with Healing Brew. He's got 3 Pegasus. Really good. And he's got the Avatar of the Green Lady. And then he's got 2 Unicorn Heroes. 1 with Mace of Crushing and 1 with Blade of Slashing. Both have the Lightning Bolt 5 spell. So that's 13 units and 22 unit strength.
Awesome. Flipping over to Dustin's list. Dustin Church. I'm never doing these slides.
Am I good yet, Senpai?
Yep. You're good. We're not doing this. All right.
The Darkwood Raiders, the herd, a list Felix is number 1 with. 5 regiments of tribal warriors. Longhorns, those are the ones with rally. 2 troops of harpies, those are the ones that die. A regiment of forest shamblers. A Minotaur chariot regiment, upgraded to the Stampede with pipes of terror, so nasty little unit. The Great Chieftain with the Great Horn of Migration. He's got the Orwild Charge 1 on that with the Sacred Horn, so it's big. Druid Hero, which is their spellcaster with Conjure Staff, taking Bane Chant 2, Heal 2, and Mind Fog 2, so every phase of the game. Moon Pie / Moonfang, as you do. And a Tree Herder with the Wilt Daddy upgrade, because you can. So it puts him at 15 drops and 29 unit strength.
Yep. In terms of the community feedback, we had 78.9% votes for Dustin, with a 21, for Marcelo, not Dustin. I've got that backward. I don't know why it shows that on the top, but it's fine. Marcelo has the vote with about 80%. Kyle, how does Dustin take out Marcelo with his herd? What's he got to do?
He needs Marcelo to make a mistake.
That's fair.
His list is, he's got a chance if he can sit in terrain. All of Marcelo's super heavy hammer cab and all the fast stuff is wonderful, but you find a fence to sit behind or a forest to sit in, and a lot of his units with that rally bubble can tank it, and the Wilt Daddy's not going to die. And once you close into a grind, the herd crushes that list. But if Marcelo plays cautious and picks his charges only when he needs them, I don't like Dustin's odds in this matchup at all. I'm sorry, buddy. You're my favorite.
Cool. All right. moving along to table 3, we've got Mike Rossi versus Joe Bourdes. Hopefully pronouncing that one right. Give me a second to get these lists pulled up. Starting with Rossi.
I'll take Mike's list, Travis. So, the standard Mike Rossi dwarf list starts with 2 Iron Guard infantry regiments with throwing mastiffs, 1 with the healing brew. We've got the 3 sharpshooter troops, and then we've got 1 mastiff pack with throwing mastiff, dogs with dogs. And we've got Golok's Fury, the Flame Priest with Fireball, and the Diadem of Dragonkind for Fireball 13 or 16. Faber Ironheart, 2 Dwarf Lords on large beasts, and then the Dwarf formation with the 2 regiments of Bulwarkers, both with throwing mastiffs, and the Horde of regular Ironclad with Hammer of Measured Force, and the Standard Bearer with the Elite Aura. And so that brings us to 15 units with 25 unit strength.
All right, Joe's playing dwarves as well. There's going to be a lot of dwarves, by the way, this
Yeah,
weekend.
this is going to be a repetitive.
So Joe's got 4 regiments of Iron Guard, all with throwing mastiffs, 3 sharpshooter troops, a regiment of Berserker Brocks with boots of striding, the Mastiff Hunting Pack regiment, 2 Still Behemoths, 1 with the Golok's Fury upgrade, Faber Ironheart, and then 2 Dwarf Lords on Beast for 14 units and 24 unit strength.
Looking at the fan results, we had a slight edge to Mike Rossi in this dwarf off. Travis, what does Joseph need to do to overcome the actual dwarf that is Mike?
They're going to tie. I mean, this is going to happen. They're both playing dwarves. Like, they can't lose. They can't win. It's just going to be a draw. Like, I don't know. It'll be a interesting slap fight.
It's gonna be tough to kill stuff, right? Dogs, dogs go and do nothing, and I mean, honestly, Joe has 1 unit that might die with the Brocks, right? That's the only one.
And his mastiffs.
Yeah,
right. Too.
I'm gonna give this one to Mike barely, just because this is a rematch. Because these guys played the same exact matchup at Pilgrimage. So so I hope Mike has learned some lessons since then. I'm sure he has.
I'm just gonna go hug both of them and be like, "Thanks for taking one for everybody else."
Yeah, exactly.
2 dwarves out of the way.
Right.
Next up, we've got Lance Thatcher versus. This is the one that I totally forget name the slide correctly. Keith Monarch.
Keith Monarch? Yeah. Which one do you want, Kyle?
Since nothing is named, I'm actually going to read the
And spoiler,
Fire, Flint, and Phalanx list for the Salamanders.
Yeah, spoiler, they're both Salamanders.
Yeah, I'll read Fire, Flint, and Phalanx, but they're actually not named anywhere. Thanks, guys. Matt, do you know which player is Fire, Flint, and Phalanx? I actually can't tell.
Fire, Flint, and Phalanx should be
I
Keith.
think that's...
All right, I'm going to read Keith.
Yes, it's Keith's.
Am I good? Am I good to go, Great Senpai?
You can go ahead and go.
All right, Fire, Flint, and Phalanx, Salamanders, Salamander Ceremonial Guard, a Horde with Effigy of Fire and Helm of Confidence, not an item we see often, and another Horde with Effigy of Fire. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 regiments of Salamander Bears. Interesting. Scorchwings that don't fly. He's got 1, 2, 3 Comodons. 1, 2, 3 Phoenixes, one of which is the Ancient Phoenix. And he has a Mage Priest with the Sacred Horn Veil of Shadows, and Fireball 10. Of course, those inspire. And then he has Firebrand, which is Aura of Corsairs. It is melee only. And that guy comes with everything. Bonus pieces. Their special rules, crew member dance, in an army that contains Firebrand, Corsairs are no longer irregular. That's how his list works. Only 14 drops and a measly 22 unit strength, but boy does it shoot.
It's true.
Yep.
And we've got our second salamander list in the salamander off.
Right, and this is Keith Monarch. Slightly different take on the salamanders because it starts off with 3 hordes of fire elementals, 2 hordes of scorch wings, 1 with blessing of the gods, 2 ember sprites regiments, 2 greater fire elementals, a phoenix upgraded to the ancient phoenix, and then looks like 2 mage priests, 1 with the crown of the wizard king, Surge 8, and Barkskin. And the other one's got Conjure Staff, Fireball 10, and Scorched Earth 2. And then to top it all off, he's got Rakabas, the Pale Rider. So that leads to 13 drops and 21 unit strength.
Nifty. Results from the survey give a pretty good edge to Keith at 63%. Felix, what does Lance need to do to overcome Keith with this salamander off? Keith was the fire, flint, and phalanx.
Yeah, honestly, just the shooting just has to work, because looking at Lance's list, the Scorchwing shoots, and then this Ember Sprites shoots. And you got some Fireball casters. Oh, sorry, it's Lance's. So, you just got that. The shootings just have to go off to try and take that stuff out. But a lot of it's fearless. So, yeah, it's gonna be tough.
I disagree with the community. I think the Fire Elemental Horde Scorchwing list has all the tools to dismantle Fire, Flint, and Phalanx.
Right.
But it wasn't an overwhelming victory, right? So
It's 60%. It's definitely not the victory. All right.
these get degrees, baby.
Moving on to table 5, we've got Sean Troy facing off against Brian Munzel.
I'm going to take both of these because Travis had to step out for a minute.
I can take Sean's list since it's Radigan.
Fine.
Oh, I forgot you're also Radigan. Okay, you can take Sean's list. I'll take Brian's list. I'm happy to do that.
All right.
So you can start us off with Sean.
All right. So Sean's list has 2 hordes of plain naked warriors, 2 hordes of shock troops with plague pots, 1 with brew of strength, 1 with the boots of striding. We've got 2 of the claw shot units, 1 tunnel runner regiment with the brew of sharpness, 3 weapons teams, a tangle, a warlock with lightning bolt 5 and bane chant 3, and then we've got a brute enforcer with the trickster's wand, and 2 brood mothers, one with, actually they both have blight staffs, but one has drain life as well. And then Mother Kryza with her lightning bolt 5 for 16 units and 23 unit strength.
Right. And then flipping over to Ryan playing dwarves here, we've got 2 regiments of Iron Guard, both with throwing mastiffs, like you do. A horde of bulwarkers with throwing mastiffs and the British strength. A regiment of rangers. 3 troops of sharpshooters, that's going to be a common theme. A horde of earth elementals. A steel behemoth with upgraded to Golok's Fury, like you do. Battle driller. Stone priest with the Conjurer's Staff, replacing Surge with Radiance of Life, getting Bane Chant and Scorched Earth. Wings of Honeymaze and a Dwarf Lord. Garrett Heavy Hand, and a Dwarf Lord on Large Beast. Coming in at 14 units and 21 unit strength. This one is the first one we've gotten that's almost a tie.
And I see that. I think both lists are very evenly balanced. If Ryan had gone with like all the defense 6 toys, it might be a tougher road for the Ratkin, but I do think this one is pretty evenly matched.
There's a difference of 2 votes with the slightest ever edge to Sean, but yeah, it's the first one that was, I think it was a draw for a while before we got like 20 more votes in. If I were to say, how does Ryan beat Sean's list using this? Get in there. I don't think you win the shoot-off. I think
no, because
it's close
I think,
too.
yeah, I mean, I think with the brood mothers in there, he's got enough to weather the shooting.
Yeah. No, I mean that. Sorry, I should clarify. Ryan needs to get in there to get on top of Sean.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't think he can outshoot him in this one.
Yeah, he spends a turn to toss the dogs, and then he's either gonna get jumped by the rats or he's got to jump the rats.
Right, he's got a YOLO.
Yeah. Obviously, scenario plays a part, but that's how I would view it.
Yep, I think this is going to be a really good game. I think it's a good close match.
Moving on to table 6. What's the size of my freaking dashboard? There we go. We have, I'm sure everyone's looking forward to. We've got Jeff Radigan facing off against Alex Chavez. Let me get their list pulled out.
So rocket scientist and a U.S. master.
Yep, certainly one of the more popular matchups.
Felix, I'll let you pick the list, buddy.
One of them's really easy.
You're muted, Felix, by the way.
All right. I guess I'll take Radigan's because again, it's easy and it's the boogeyman. Woo. So he's got 2 hordes of braced riders, the Centaur braced riders. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hordes of scorch wings. A druid hero with a heal 2 and alchemist curse. Then he's got Karis, who's got the solar staff that I think it's once per game can just disorder. Yeah. Yeah, so it's an 18-inch attack, 8-inch. If they suffer damage from that solar staff range weapon, they're disordered their next turn. So, yeah, it's pretty obvious what he's going for on this one. Yeah.
Fun fact: this list has the most unit strength out of every list in this lineup.
So 12 units and 32 units.
Kind of ridiculous.
Lowest drops, most US.
I got confused again because it was another dwarf player.
Alex Chavez jumping on the meta wagon. Nothing original about him. 2 regiments of Iron Guard infantry with throwing massives, as all dwarf players do. A berserker troop, which is unique to him and Eric Trowbridge, really. 4 sharpshooters, because who doesn't want cannons that score? Steel Behemoth, since he only took 1, it's Golok's Fury. Faber Ironheart, if it's broken, take it. 2 dwarf lords on large beast. And then the formation, which gives him the regiment with the throwing mastiffs, and then he named it Anvils of the Mountain. That's fancy and pretentious, but he's got a horde with the throwing mastiffs and the hammer of measured force, because why not make slave rats defense 4? And then he's, of course, got the standard bearer with the, I believe it's Aura Life Leech or Aura Rally with the formation. I don't actually care about dwarves. Shows how much I know. It's for elite melee infantry. See, I know what I'm doing. I'm a good content maker. He has 15 drops in 25 unit strength and a master's title.
Bringing that to the table.
In terms of the actual,
That's a drop, right? A master.
there is Alex is favored at least by the community with about 60%, and I would say that This is definitely a list to fight Scorchwings with.
Right.
I agree.
So, that being the case, Kyle, how did the Scorchwings beat Alex Chavez?
It's a 3-step process. First, you get Alex drunk on Thursday or Friday night. Second, Alex misses game 1. Third, Scorchwings go undefeated and win the GT. If that fails, what Radigan actually has to do is just mitigate the sharpshooter's impact, because Scorchwings at height 4 are a sucker for 2 wound guaranteed spread out. Sharpshooters just love Scorchwings. Steel Behemoths don't care at all. Favor doesn't care at all. Dwarf Lords don't care at all. Radigan's not a bad player. He's certainly beaten me twice. He's going to look to pick up those that Berserker chaff. He's going to look to pick up the Iron Guards. And Radigan's entire system to win this is ignore Alex, be fast, win the mission. If he tries to fight, he's done, dude. Radigan won't outkill Alex. So Radigan's just going to play the mission faster than Alex, and that's going to be the game.
Just roll a bunch of 6s. Just
Or do that. Also, I made my drink too strong, for anyone wondering. The paintbrush mixer didn't do it.
It's okay. This matchup cast has been cursed, but it's fine. All right, moving on to table.
Oh yeah, you cursed it. It's cool.
It's true. It's true. Moving on to table 7, we've got Mike Grant coming out of the West Coast, facing off against Steven DeRose. Who would like to take Mike, and who would like to take Steven?
I'll take the herd.
Sure. Travis, you want to get Mike?
Yep.
Or sorry, you want to get Steven?
Yeah,
Got that
I knew what
backwards.
you meant.
All right. So Mike has got the herd, starting off with a troop of Hunters of the Wild with the Staying Stone. We've got 2 troops of Harpies. We've got a horde of Guardian Brutes with the Brew of Sharpness. Lycan horde with the Brew of Strength. We've got 4 regiments of Forest Shamblers. We've got a horde of Centaur Bray Striders. We've got the Great Chieftain with the Horn of the Great Migration and a Sacred Horn for that sweet 9-inch aura. And we've got the Wilt Daddy and the Avatar of the Father for 13 units with 23 unit strength.
Steven DeRose is taking Varinger. He has a regiment and 2 hordes of Draugr, 2 hordes of Fallen, one with Dwarven Ale, one with Standing Stone, 2 regiments of Mounted Sons. Both have Guys of the Deceiver, and one has Boots of Striding. 2 regiments of Snow Foxes, 2 Jabberwocks, 2 Thanes on Frostfang, and 2 Snow Patrol Primes with 15 units and 28 unit strength.
In their matchup, we have it's pretty dang close. Slightest edge to Mike Grant, but almost a tie. We're talking, there's a difference of 4 votes there. Travis, what do the Varinger need to do to overcome Herd Cheese? Because we all know how filthy Herd are.
And they need to go in and kill what they touch. If they get wavered, they're screwed. That's Varinger.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, ask Billy.
Yeah, that's kind of the herd as well, but yeah.
Our boy Billy does it, and then he gets wavered and he loses a game. If he goes in and touches stuff and kills it, he wins the game. I mean, it's pretty simple.
I'd say either way, this game's going to go quick.
It's going to be quick.
Yeah, it's going to be a fast one, right? No shooting, no magic, just go get it.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's how Mike likes to play anyways. He likes to go fast.
Exactly.
So, I mean, this is going to be over quick.
And he's got all the troops to deliver those heavy hitters. So it's,
yeah, he's got.
It's going to get in there quick. Yeah, it's going to get in there quick.
They'll tie.
Then they'll tie.
Everybody's right, 50-50. I mean, this is good.
next up, we have that's table 7 to table 8. We have Keith Randall facing off against Eric Trowbridge.
Oh, suck it, Corey/Travis. We get the good table.
Yeah. Do you want the bully or do you want Eric? Which one do you want?
Huh? What, you mean the guy I've never beat or the guy I've beat 100 times? I'll take Keith. I can do a bad job reading Keith's list.
Got it.
Eric's not even good. It's fine.
All right. You want me to go first then?
Absolutely.
All righty. So Eric is bringing dwarves, just like the other 1/9 of the field. He's got 4 regiments of the Iron Guard with throwing mastiffs, 2 regiments of the Berserkers, a horde of shield breakers with the Blessing of the Gods, 2 troops of Berserker Brock Riders, 2 Flame Belchers, the Steel Behemoth upgraded to Gollux Fury, and then 2 Dwarf Lord on Large Beasts for 14 drops and 27 unit strength.
Nice. All right. And with Senpai's permission, Keith Randall, Bane of the Midwest and Slaughterer of Secret Chat Cave, 4-0 against me, and Killer of Eric Trowbridge always. We have his elves as the only list he owns, 2 Gladestalker regiments, as he does, 2 Silver Breeze Cavalry regiments, as he does. Stormwind with the Nimble Bullshit upgrade and Orb of Towering Presence, making them unit strength 4, which is unnecessary, as is known to Keith. 2 Hordes of Drakens, one with J-Boots and one with Pipes of Terror, because, you know, they're already not terrifying. 1 Archmage on a horse with Boots of Levitation, with Alchemist Curse 4 plus bullshit. We'll just leave that where it is. Argnish Rodnar, greatest 70 points you can spend in Kings of War. He gives you a reroll on shooting, and he inspires and gives inspiring. He doesn't need to exist. He's got the formation, because why not have Spellward Nimble Drakens with the Draken hero with Rampage? So that comes with 2 regiments. He's taken them naked because they're already broken, and a hero he's taken naked because it's already broken, for a whopping 12 drops, making him an elitist prick, and 25 unit strength. But none of it dies and it all kills good, so that'll still be there at the end of the game. Thanks, Keith.
Since any vendettas there. Moving on.
No, there's no spite. I didn't lose to Keith just now. It's fine.
Looking at the survey results, we have a edge to Keith Randall at about 60%. This one's still pretty close, but like slight edge to Keith. Felix, what does Eric Trowbridge need to do to beat up on elves?
Real honestly, got to take out that Alchemist Curse. That's really about it. But that's Wasp control that we'll see if he's able to do that. I will say that I'm the only person Keith has not beat in the Secret Chat Cave, namely because I've never played against Keith. So I haven't been able to get
Middle table mafia.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you save it. Is just don't ever meet him. But
I'm gonna help out here. Keith Randall is the bane of the Secret Chat Cave. The Secret Chat Cave never beats Keith, no matter how well we play or how many mistakes we make. Keith always wins. Anyone who didn't vote for Keith has not done scientific research. Sorry, Eric. You're going to lose. Your mind is committed to competitive chess. You've given up on kings. We all know that. And you're trying to take fake war trombones with your dwarf bullshit. You're going to lose, buddy. I love you so much, though. Kisses. I hate you, Keith.
Yeah, I got nothing to comment on, guys. Next,
going to drink a lot more.
Moving us along, we are moving on to table 9. We have Andrew Minton out of Oklahoma and the Mountain facing off here against Eric Schaefer. And I should be moving the list over while I'm doing this, just trying to get this repetition in my head. Eric Schaefer from Pennsylvania, a rookie. Corey and Travis, who wants to read Andrew and who wants to read Eric?
I'll take Eric's.
Okay.
Eric is doing L's. Whenever you're ready.
All right. So Eric is a Masters rookie, but he's no newbie. I mean, Eric's been playing and playing well for a long time. So here's his list. He's got a regiment of Palace Guard. He's got 3 regiments of Gladestalkers, 1 Silver Breeze regiment. He's got 2 Stormwind Cavalry regiments. He's got 2 Archmages, one with the obligatory Horse, Boots, Alchemist Curse, then the other one with Bane Chant and Mind Fog. He's got the King's Champion, and then he's got Argus Rodinart, also obligatory, and the Swirling Tempest Formation, which all elves should have for 14 units and 25 unit strength.
Nifty.
All right. Andrew's taking Salamanders. He has 2 regiments of agents, 2 hordes of ceremonial guard, one with brew of sharpness and one with brew of strength, 2 hordes of rhinosaur cav, a regiment of ember sprites, 2 phoenixes, a herald with loot, and then the formation, which is 2 regiments of primes, and Zol the Unseen for 13 drops and 29 unit strength.
In terms of predictions here, we did have Eric beating out Andrew at about a 65 to 35 ratio there. So, Corey, you know Eric apparently. What does Andrew need to do to beat up Eric with his salamanders?
Andrew needs to get those ceremonial guard to do a lot of work, right? Because Eric's got a lot of cav, a lot of monstrous cav, so those ceremonial guard are going to have to cover a lot of ground. But Eric's so fast, he should be able to avoid it, but we'll see. And the Phoenixes can apply a nice amount of pressure from behind all that, but that's going to be a tough one. I think Andrew's in for a rough time here.
Hitting us up on table 10, we've got Billy facing off against. This is was supposed to be Carl. Give me 2 seconds. Actually, we're actually on schedule again. Let me see if I can pull up this guy's list. I'll read it off. I might be able to get it into spew. We'll see.
That's Benjamin McClure.
Since we're on track,
Yeah, Benjamin McClure.
Felix, you care if I read Billy's because he's my second best BFF next to Travis?
That's fine.
Way nicer than Keith Randall.
It's fine. Go on ahead. I said to make sure that I'm reading the right list because there's no name. I'm guessing he's running Abyssal Dwarves.
Yeah.
Benjamin McClure? All right. Well, I got it then. So.
Am I correct, Matt, that we had 2 drops at Masters?
We have 2
only,
drops.
Only 2 drops, though, correct?
Yes. I might be able to get us, because the other one was, unfortunately, Lady of the Lake. Why is his name blanking in my head?
Chris Kapsner.
Chris Kapsner, thank you. I was like,
Master of Herd.
Yeah, exactly. Chris Kapsner unfortunately had to drop. I do have the slide for that, which is nice. I don't have the list, but I think I can find it pretty quickly, just like I got the Abyss score for it. Anyway, but I don't have a slide for...
They will be missed.
Yeah, I do not have a slide, unfortunately, for Benjamin. That was just the nature of the timing of everything. But let's go ahead and take a look at Billy's list.
I'll take Billy's list. Billy's my BFF. I beat the hell out of him at Lady of the Lake, and I still feel bad about it to this day. He lost because it's his fault. He made some mistakes, but, we all learn. I lose to Keith every time I play Keith. It's fine.
Still
Billy Henninger, he's bringing Trident Realms. He's got a horde of Death Horrors with J-Boots, which is the right item to put on them. He has 3 Gigas, because Gigas aren't broken at home, with the Stangstone, Dwarven Ale, and Chalice of Wrath. Why be wavered when you can fight? Riverguard Dam Busters. He's got a regiment with Poison Frog and Enthrall. God, I hate Enthrall. And he's got another regiment with Enthrall because it's good. 2 Tidal Swarms. Chaff that chaff's better than yours. He's got a Thule Aquamage with Rising Tides, Icy Breath, and Scorched Earth. And I'll actually have to read Rising Tides in a second because I don't know what it does.
I think it's Thunder's Charge plus
3
1.
Depth Horror Eternals. Thunder's Charge plus 1. Got it. He has Mace of Crushing, Blade of Slashing, and Pipes of Terror. Those are awesome heroes kitted out really points efficiently. That's a great choice. And he has the Hidden Ones formation. He has 1 regiment with Brew of Strength, 1 regiment of Thule with items, and then he has the hero with Gnome Glass Shield, which is just bonkers on her with Barkskin 5, which in Trident Realms is just disgustingly cost effective. And it's going to be great. Poison Frogs once per game before the unit rolls. It gains Brutal. So super awesome, super cost effective. He ends at 15 drops and 27 unit strength, which I think is pretty respectable for a 15 drop list.
Solid.
Yeah, it is solid. Okay, so Benjamin McClure. Do we know where he's out of? Do you know which region he's out of?
Oh, he replaced. Shoot, off the top
He's
of
out
my
of
head.
the United States.
I mean, yeah, we know that.
So-
He's repping the U.S., Felix.
There you go. Anyways, he's bringing Abyssal Dwarves.
Pacific
He's got
Northwest.
Okay, gotcha. So he's bringing a regiment of Immortal Guard with the Throwing Mastiff. He's got a horde of Decimators with Blessing of the Gods because I think they just come that way. 2 hordes of Slave Orcs. 2 troops of Gargoyles. I swear this is a 3rd edition list. 2 Abyssal Half-Breed regiments. 2 mutated Mastiff hunting packs with Throwing Mastiff, so dogs throwing dogs. Hellfane with Supreme Taskmaster upgrade. An Overmaster hero with not looking at any upgrades now. An Ironcaster with Diadem of Dragonkind. A Hexcaster with Hex 3 and Weakness 3, and then Braki Barca. So that is 15 drops, 24 unit strength.
No wings on the Overmaster.
Right.
So we don't have an accurate reading on this one, because obviously these votes were between Billy and Carl. However, I will say that if we were probably to do a revote, I imagine that we'd probably get a similar chart. That's just my personal professional prediction there. So, I'm going to say that just had his name, Benjamin here, is going to be the underdog versus Billy. So, Kyle, I believe it's on you. How does Benjamin beat Billy? How does he beat Trident Realm?
So the secret to beating Billy is that Decimator Horde with Elite. Deploy that thing in the middle or find the hill near the objective and absolutely shoot the hell out of Billy. Trident Realms hates 2 things. Piercing 1 and Elite. And you have it on Decimators. If you put your Decimator in a bad spot or you let one of Billy's 50 Disruptor units touch you, it's going to be a bad day. But if you can control that Decimator Horde, start using it effectively turns 3, 4, 5, and 6, you will win the game. And if you let one of those 3 Depth Horror Eternal heroes turn you off, and that is, in my opinion, an absolute fact. Lose the Horde, lose the game. Keep the Horde, win the game. I don't see any other way around it. Billy has the advantage with 4, 5 disruption heroes, but if you can play it right, I think you have a real chance to just literally shoot Billy off the objectives. And if you get Billy drunk, you'll win.
Oh, we'll be drunk. Don't you guys worry.
I'm running out of. Also, I've only got 1 more refill, Matt, so you may have to read a list while I go downstairs and find something that's not gin.
Okay with that. I'll make it work. We're at least in a flow now. So we started off a little rough and bumpy, but now we're doing okay. Moving along.
On the record, we're going too fast for me to paint.
We're doing it right then, fellas. We're doing it right.
Right. Corey needs to get to bed. So we've got a
Listen, truth.
Yeah, we've got a Garrett Mercer versus
Jordan Braun.
Jordan Braun. There we go. It's like
I got your back, Matt. Got your back.
Thank you. Who do we want to read Garrett, and who do we want to read Jordan?
Your choice, Travis.
I'll take Garrett's.
Thought you might.
We'll see if he gets it done painted anyways. as per usual. The Garrett way.
Who's painting more, me or Garrett?
I mean, I think he's painting a whole new armies for this, so
well, I mean, so Kyle for
it's probably a tie just because Kyle has massive amounts of guys. But Salamanders is what Garrett's taking. He's got a regiment of ancients with the Aegis of the Elohi. He has 2 Salamander Ceremonial Guard hordes. He has a regiment of Salamander Corsairs with Firelocks. 3 hordes of Scorchwings, because why not? 3 Phoenixes. And Rakawa's Pale Rider for 12 drops and 26 unit strength.
Nice.
That's to paint.
Oh, hey, look!
All right. So for Jordan Braun, he's doing Forces of Nature. So his is easy. We've got 3 hordes of Forest Shamblers. Also 3 hordes of Scorchwings. 3 Greater Air Elementals.
It's 1 regiment and 2 hordes.
Oh, you're right. Tricked me. He ran out of points clearly.
Right, yeah. He needed his graders here.
3 Greater Air Elementals. We got the Gladewalker Druid with a Steed, the Ring of Harmony, Shroud of the Saint, Surge, Heal, all the goodies. Polka with her Aura Phalanx, and Wilt Daddy for 12 units, 21 unit strength.
Looking at the matchup call, we had a slight edge to Garrett, rocking about 65% to 35 for Jordan. I don't know that I agree with that, but maybe that's just from experience on the list. But I would say, Travis, I think it's on you. What does Jordan have to do to beat Garrett's also Scorchwing list?
I mean, they're gonna tie because they brought Scorchwings. I'm liking all these ties for Masters. I mean, I like to tie round 1.
I'm sensing a theme with Travis.
Why not? We're just gonna tie every game. But if you get Garrett drunk enough and he's still painting, you have a good shot because he probably will still be painting till 1, 2, 3 a.m. morning of, who knows. But honestly, these 2 lists are just hilarious against each other with all the Scorchwings.
Yeah, right. It's just gonna be like nobody's gonna engage till turn 5.
Right, exactly. And I mean, they both have speed to keep each other away. Like Shamblers are gonna get to where they want with their defense.
They got enough shooting to snack off some of the small units.
I mean, there's really no small units in either list, though. Like,
no.
In all honesty, it's all just here we go, deal with it or don't. So
somebody's gonna have to take the plunge and go in early, right?
Yeah, I think this one's gonna be an entertaining game, honestly, to watch because it'll be either fast or super slow.
I think it's gonna be super slow.
I agreed.
Nobody's gonna go. No, everybody's gonna dance. Everybody's gonna shoot. Nobody's gonna die. And then
knowing Garrett and Jordan, yeah, this is a tie straight up.
With like 200 kill points on both sides.
Yeah. Only Scorchwings getting shot at each other if allowed.
No shit.
This one's an entertaining matchup. I'm just gonna keep walking by this table and being like, I'd rather go to the dwarf table. At least Mastiffs will be throwing places. Honestly.
Alrighty. Shifting over to table 12. We've got.
Can we get a F in the chat for my empty bottle of gin? Matt, you think we can pause for that just real quick? Like a 1 second of silence?
I'll bring you a bottle for Masters, don't worry.
I was going to say, I left bottles there.
Hell yeah, baby.
Um,
Felix, as you've had like 2 decades in the government, you can have government bailout. It's only fair.
Got it.
Alrighty. Table 12, we have Timothy Smith. No, I pulled up the same list. Cool, fun.
Michael Sigler.
Thank you.
This is Michael Sigler, but I'm going to take a second to get set up here because that's the flow that I established. So everyone's waiting on me, but that's fine. Y'all can wait. I'm going to take another sippy sip.
Why change it now?
No, I got a dinosaur sippy cup. I'm good,
Also, honestly, I don't want to give Michael Sigler any more screen time than like he needs because
No,
my man,
don't.
let me tell you about my man Larry.
Jesus Christ, do not let this happen. And his regional ranking is by far the worst.
While you figure that shit out, let me
Uh,
introduce you to the dinosaur sippy cup. Dino Lord requirement 101. Drink slow, drink all day. Drink fast, pass out round 3.
You better bring that with.
who wants to take Michael's Abyssal
And
list?
you don't think that goes to every tournament?
I got the Abyssals.
You got the Abyssals, Felix, gotcha, and Kyle. You will take the Undead, being brought by Tim.
Yeah, the not goblin list. Got
Yeah,
it.
that was weird. Yeah.
Yeah, what happened here?
It's true.
I thought this was a typo.
Yeah,
Super weird.
this is the thing. Your fatherhood changes you. So
It's
I
not
don't know.
weird. I have 4 kids and it didn't change me one bit.
Felix.
Sorry,
You're
keep
still a
rolling.
dick.
Alrighty, I'll go. So
Sure.
if name of list was going to be the sole determiner of Masters, Sigler would probably win
It's pretty good.
with his bailout. But since he actually has to skill, which is why I'm at best of the rest, he has a regiment of abyssal ghouls, 2 troops of gargoyles, 2 hordes of Molochs, both with the spoiler champion, one with Sir Jesse's boots of striding, a regiment of abyssal horsemen with blade of slashing, 2 regiments of tortured souls, 1 Cranaeus, a seductress with gnome glass shield and host shadow beast 2, then Zazuzu the betrayer with Bane Chant 2 and Lightning Bolt 4 as he comes, Manifestation of Baal, and Well of Souls, and that's it. So that's 13 drops, 21 unit strength.
Shifting over to Tim.
Right. I want on the record to know that Tim can't win because this isn't goblins, and that's the only thing he knows how to play. I still am not convinced it's not a typo by Adam Ballard, questionable TO. Tim's bringing Undead, which is a list I didn't know he had, or knew how to pilot, or had painted. So he's got 2 regiments of Revenants. Don't hate that. They hold objectives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 troops of Wraiths. Now it sounds like a goblin list. I allow it. 2 hordes of Wights, which are bullshit hammers. If you listen to the last episode of Countercharge, we go over why. Mead of Madness and Brew of Haste, because if you're going to charge last, don't. Revenant Cavalry Regiment with Pipes of Terror. That's a questionable choice, but 10 points is 10 points. Soul Reavers with J-Boots. That'll murder shit. Vampire Lord Hero. He's got 1 on an undead horse with Boots of the 7 Leagues, which is Scout. That's a questionable choice, but, you know, Tim's a weird guy. He's got a mullet now. 2 Revenant Kings. King Heroes, rather, on horse. Both with Surge 5, and that's it. So, height 3 Surge, fast, nimble, exciting. Only 14 drops, which is weak for Tim. Only 23 unit strength, which is weak for Tim. I assume the record is 100% against Tim to win, as it should be.
It's actually pretty close. We got another 2-vote swing with the slightest ever edge to the Abyss, which I don't know if that's accurate or not, but we'll say it. Kyle, what does Tim have to do to beat up Michael?
Well, for the record, Tim built an undead list that looks a lot like his goblin list, which is trolls and fleabags. The difference is he doesn't have like 18 shooting heroes and units, which is his crux for being mediocre at Kings of War. That's gone, so now he has to play well. the secret to win, to be completely honest, is shave the mullet. There's not a strategy that's going to get you out of this. It's probably going to end up in a draw. But if you shave the mullet, the dice gods will look down on you as an adult and favor you.
I don't know,
I think
man.
that's all I have to say. Shave the mullet.
I don't know. Michael's on this high of being ranked #1 in the mountain region. He's going to go.
Hey, that Abyssal is disgusting. That
That's
Undead list
Michael.
is pretty generic plus race.
I'm just going to get Michael
So
drunk
5
Friday
race
night,
troops
and
is
he'll be fine.
terrifying, but
Tim's fine.
I don't
I'm
know.
just gonna get
I
Michael
just
drunk
feel
more.
like Tim should have brought Troll.
I think
brought
Tim
goblins.
put the
Tim
mullet
has a chance.
yesterday. If I'm looking at his Facebook correctly, I think he cut it yesterday, so he might be good to go.
Alrighty.
Right. I just
It's
don't
like
like it. Tim,
Samson cutting
me to
his
you,
redneck hair.
you've made a mistake. I'm not even going to pour one out. You get sippy cup, Tim. You rate small sip.
Alrighty.
Done.
Moving over to table 13 here, we've got Ken Heisler coming out of Massachusetts, playing Orktown. Should
As he
surprise
does.
literally no one.
Nope.
I don't know that I've
K2.
ever met Ken. No, I think I did just once, but it was very briefly.
Yeah.
You would know.
You'd know if you met K2.
Well, you know if you meet Skullface. I mean, come on.
That's fair. And then following that, we've got Luke Frazier coming out of British Columbia, playing Trident Realms.
I'm
Yeah,
taking
yours.
Skullface, baby.
Yep, you better.
Whenever you are ready.
All right, so we've got Morax, lots of it. So 2 troops
do.
and 3 regiments of Morax. All the regiments have skull poles. We've got a young axe horde. We've got an axe troop. We've got a great axe horde with skull pole and boots of striding. We've got a fight wagon legion with the brew of strength. Got 2 war drums. We've got a crudger with Gakamax bloody banner for that sweet wild charge aura. We've got 2 crushers on gores, each with a blade of slashing and a mace of crushing. There's a Morax man splitter in there with the gnome glass shield, and then a troll bruiser with the orb of towering presence, making him unit strength 2. Total unit 16, unit strength 28.
Nice.
50. Up there in unit strength, finally.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
Luke's taking Trident Realms. He's got a regiment of Thule with the helm. He has a regiment of Placoderms. He has 2 hordes of Gigas. He has 2 regiments of Tidal Swarms. He has 2 Knuckers, a Coral Giant with a Giant Cleaver, a Naiad Centurion with Trident of the Drowned Sea, Boots of Levitation, Thule Aquamage with Rising Tides, Sacred Horn, Icy Breath and Barkskin 5. He has a Depth Horror Eternal, and he has the formation for the Hidden Ones with 2 regiments. And then Inisha with Gnome Glass Shield and Host Shadow Beast too for 15 drops and 24 unit strength.
50. We got another close matchup. There's very few...
Orcs win.
Yeah, orcs. Yeah,
Orcs win.
he doesn't even have to be tricky about it. He just needs to
Sorry.
throw it all at him.
Yep.
And even though the snare is not
here-
going to help, it's all just going to chop, 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 chop.
It's more axes against.
Yep.
Hear me out. So there is the slightest edge for the orcs. So how does I want to say it was Corey's turn. How does Luke beat orcs? How do you get past the choppy?
You got to get really lucky and get some knuckers in some flanks of some stuff and get some nice nerve rolls. But man, K2 can spread the table, and so it's going to be hard for that to happen. And again, he doesn't have to be cagey about it. He just needs to go straight ahead and just punch shit in the face.
This is to me a rough one.
Yeah, I don't know how the crowd got this one so wrong, because this one is just. Ugh.
Smashy face.
Not enough
lean,
snare.
this one's it's gonna lean right into K2's wheelhouse, you know. Yeah, there's not enough in snare here.
Those more axes hitting on 4s is still fine.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Crush one.
Yep.
Brutal pops. Okay, I can see
You
it.
what, Luke? If you win, great.
Yep.
We can rub it in
We'll
Keith
eat
Kenneth's
our
face.
pie.
All right.
Kate, he's already cursing me. I was like, "Don't make me the favorite ever."
Yep, I know.
All right.
Favored by 2.
Yep.
Shifting over to table 14 here, we got Benjamin, another one. There are so many Benjamins coming out
How
of
about the Benjamins, baby?
yeah, all about the Benjamins coming out of California. When people name their lists and put their name on them, that's the best. I love it. He is facing off against
Always
Dale-
put your name.
Dale Motley, coming out of Pennsylvania. Another rookie.
So we reach an
Master
interesting conundrum.
Yes.
There's no list posted for Dale on Tabletop Score,
It's dwarves.
meaning I can't
You
read
can
Dale's list.
extrapolate it in your head.
Really?
You'd probably get pretty close if you take some guesses.
So
Some
I'll
sharpshooter.
guess at Dale's list.
I will read off Dale's list. Okay.
I was gonna say it shows up for
Um,
me.
But in any case, so with that being the case, I'll start with Dale's. We have we have not two. We have a troop of Iron Guard. Sorry, I've never seen a troop of Iron Guard, and a regiment of Iron Guard with a throwing mastiff. We have 2 troops of sharpshooters. That's what I tend to expect. A regiment of Brock Rider Cav with Sir Jesse's Boots of Striding. We have the Steel Behemoth upgraded to Golux Fury because I've never seen a Steel Behemoth never upgraded to Golux Fury. We have Faber Ironheart. We have 3 Dwarf Lords on Large Beasts. This is a good list. He has the Royal Guard formation, just continuing my assessment that this is a good dwarf list. With Throwing Mastiffs on the Regiment, Hammer of Measured Force on the Horde. Where's the second regiment? Is it just 1 regiment of Bulwarks? I thought it was 2. No, it is 2. Yeah, he put Throwing Mastiffs on both. It's just weirdly broken up for some reason.
Broke up, yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then he has the banner, of course, coming in at 14 units and 24 unit strength. Felix, give me these ogres.
Alrighty. Ogres. So he's got 2 regiments and a horde of the hunters. The hunters horde has Brew of Haste, brings them to a nice speed 8. Put them online with a lot of cav. 2 regiments of warriors, presumably for the unlocks. 2 Siegebreaker hordes, one with Chalice of Wrath, the other one with Dwarven Ale. Because again, why be wavered? He's got a Mammoth upgraded to the Big Deal, as you do. 2 Crocodile Wranglers, a Berserker Bully, a Grakagamok, and then Nomagarok. Let's see Grakagamok again. He's been away from the lines for a while, but is your 21 unit strength.
Coming in here, we have for the vote, and I don't think I've met either of these players, and if it was very briefly. But we've got a slight edge over to Dale, coming in at just over 60, just about 70%, with a 30% vote to Benjamin. Kyle, now that we know Dale's playing dwarves, what do these ogres have to do to beat up dwarves?
So I think it's weird that the ogres didn't win the matchup, because one of the hardest counters to dwarves in my mind is ogres. First off, kudos to you. Hunters are great. Grakagamok is probably going to be your MVP into that dwarf list. There's a lot of regiments, a lot of like medium nerve units, and Grakagamok is just the king at killing medium nerve. So if you can control Grok, slam it in where you need to do. Really excited about it. You've got the Mammoth. The downside is the Mammoth gets shot constantly. I think what we need to see is if the Siegebreakers play the mission and the Hunters play the chaff game, fight game, we're probably going to see the ogres actually take the win. Siegebreakers play the mission, hunters go fight, and Grok / Crocodogs do bullshit. They're going to win if Grok gets picked out, or if the Siegebreakers aren't able to play the mission well, so he gets a bad roll. There's just no really answer for it. He really needs something where the Siegebreakers can shine an objective play. So you get like Pillage, it's a bad day. You get Dominate, he's probably going to win. So just get lucky. That's my advice. Get lucky.
Good advice. Good advice.
Travis is laughing like that's not the answer for all of Masters 64 players. Just get lucky 6 turns in a row.
Hey, I'm the only one who's got undefeated and still hasn't won Masters. So,
Man,
So you do need to get lucky.
yeah,
You
there's
do
a
need
little,
to get
there's a
lucky.
little bit of luck, right? Alrighty.
What's it like to be undefeated and yet not crowned?
I've done that twice. 2 Masters in a row and I wasn't crowned. So,
Yep. Alrighty, we have
I don't know what to do.
Hey,
Ryan.
my feet are warm.
Jesus.
I don't know what that means.
All right, this
Tell
Masters cast is
buddy.
great, guys. All right, we got Ryan Smith coming out of Texas with a picture that looks like just out of I've never seen Ryan
High
that
school.
young. Yeah. It's a great picture.
We got paint score versus actual.
Yeah, versus
Talent.
probably an actual versus a rookie. So Ryan has a chance, right? Versus Bill Stein, another
His
rookie.
first and only time.
Oh gosh.
Woof. Out of New York. I don't know Bill. The record, all these rookies, clearly they qualified for the record. So, obviously they're still in Masters. Travis, do you want to take Bill here, or do you want to take Ryan?
Whatever works. I'll
Gotcha.
I'll take the Northern Alliance.
Gotcha. Cool.
So- I'll take Ryan's.
Gotcha. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Ryan's got Northern Alliance. He's got a horde of humans clansmen with the Norge Bic clansman upgrade, so their defense 5. There are 2 troops and a regiment of Icekin hunters, a regiment of Huskarls with Blessing of the Gods, a horde of snow trolls, a horde of Frostfang Cav with the Brew of Haste, a regiment of snow foxes, the Ice Queen with Icy Breath and Blizzard, 2 lords on Frostfangs, one with Snow Fox upgrade and the other has Blade of Slashing, and then Harim for 12 drops and 22 unit strength.
Gorgeous looking army.
And it looks amazing, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
All right, Ryan.
All right, so I'll take Bill Stein's Abyssal list. So he's got a regiment of succubi with the Lurker upgrade and a Hammer of Measured Force. Got the Gargoyle troop. Got 2 Moloch hordes with the Spoiler champs. Got the Abyssal Horseman Cav with the Boots of Striding. 3 Tortured Soul regiments. 2 Cronius, and then an Abyssal Titan. A Seductress with the Gnome Glass Shield. Knowledgeable upgrade and the Host Shadow Beast, which is great. And then Zazuzu the Betrayer.
Alrighty. Nifty lists. Those still running Double Cronius and oh wait, there's no Well of Souls. Okay, I
There's
stand
no
by.
well.
There is no Well of Souls.
Well,
yeah.
damn! I get to shut up and not say it's a cookie cutter list. So
Breaking
It's
from
only-
the norm. Got
it's
an Abyssal Archfiend
halfway
in there.
It's like a sugar cookie, not a chocolate chip. Alrighty. In terms of who's going to win this, surprisingly, and again, this is probably only because it's a rookie vote. If I had to guess, we got Ryan with the 62% chance to win, which I doubt Ryan voted for himself. I could be wrong there, but
He knows better.
yeah. But Corey, what does Bill here have to do to beat up probably one of our paint contestants, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, just not break his models. I mean, that'd be cool.
That would be
Right.
nice.
Is
But,
entirely custom STL filed,
Yeah.
all like self-designed.
Ridiculously awesome army. So Bill will have a good time looking at it, but I do think the Abyssals are definitely got the advantage here. Granted, Bill is a rookie, but he's been playing the Abyssals pretty straight up for the last 2 years, so he knows what the list does. He's been tweaking it and tuning it, and so I think it's got the advantage. Just Bill has to play it and let it do what it's supposed to do.
Sure. Short and sweet. Alrighty. Shifting on now to table 16. We've got Ben Stoddard. Get stuff set up, which gives people a look at the slide. That's how this is going to work. Beautiful. Playing off against Brenton Williams as a soccer dad.
Do you want paint vote or sports vote?
Brenton could fall into either of those categories, I'll be fair.
Yeah, let me go Brenton. You go Ben.
I'll say Ben. Ben's a nice guy. His list is a dick, but he's a nice guy.
Start us off, Kyle.
All right. Ben Stoddard, narrative masterpiece and writer extraordinaire. He's bringing Forces of the Abyss, the more evil of the two lists, somehow. He's got Molochs with the Despoiler Champion and Healing Brew. Interesting choice, but I don't hate it at all. Makes him super durable. 2 regiments of Abyssal Horseman Cavalry, hashtag 2nd edition. 2 regiments of Tortured Souls, because they're good. Cronius, he's only taken 1 misplay. He's got an Abyssal Fiend with Fireball 10, sort of super generic as they come. Don't hate that at all. Abyssal Warlock with Firebolt as they come and Veil of Shadows, Drain Life 6. Don't hate that loadout. That's pretty clean, pretty normal. Well of Souls, as you should take, Abyssal players. Hashtag notes. Makes this list incredibly durable. All right, I'm going to mispronounce this. Ka-za-ons, Maggots, Lower Abyssals. Reserve strength 5 up, Kazan's Torment, part of the formation. He's also got another Low Abyssals, part of the formation. And the Putrid Champion, part of the formation. If we go take a look, this list stops at only 12 drops and 25 unit strength, but it is shockingly durable. With Well of Souls, a bunch of other pieces. Don't hate it. But man, 12 drops? Really? I double you, dude. That's it.
Alrighty. Let me go to Brenton Williams. Probably aptly named Funline. He's bringing Abyssal Dwarves as his main anchors of the fun line. He's got 2 hordes of Decimators. Then he's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regiments of lesser obsidian golems, all with the Charnox upgrade. That's probably where the fun part of the fun line comes in. Then he's got 2 regiments of Abyssal Half-Breeds, one with Sir Jesse's Boots, the other one with Helm of the Drunken Ram. Then he's got 2 Iron Casters, one with Conjurer Staff, Surge 8 and Heal 3, the other one with Knowledgeable, Surge 8 and Celestial Restoration, and then a Abyssal Half-Breed Champion. So that brings you 13 drops, 26 unit strength.
One of the more interesting lists I've seen thus far. 75% of players are voting for Brenton here to beat up poor Stoddard.
Brenton hates that. He hates that.
Felix, what is
Felix is up. I'll help.
Yep. What does Benjamin need to do to beat up on this Abyssal Dwarf shoot and scoot list, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, not certain if he's got the tools for it. He just needs to disrupt as much of his as Brenton's shooting as he's got. I'm gonna go back look at Stoddard's list. Man, as I mean, the plus side with it just being regiments of the lesser obsidian golems is gonna be really hard for him to get, a massive fire into Stoddard stuff. But all that defense 6 is gonna be tough to shift. And then even though they don't have elite on the decimator hordes, I mean, they're still gonna do damage. So yeah, he's just got to mitigate the shooting as much as possible. It's really the only thing I can think about him doing.
For the record, I think the votes have it backwards. Stoddard has 4 Alpha Strike units against the super soft Abyssal Dwarf list plus Decimators. So all Ben has to do is kill the unit strength, let the Decimators do their thing, and if you can turn them off, great. If not, still win by 1. I think it'll be a minor victory to Stoddard.
Enough.
This one's water, by the way.
Everyone can stand up and take a stretch. We're halfway there, at least to the fun rounds.
Or a shot. Let's not limit people, Matt.
All right, table 17. We've got Daniel Wright versus Nate Murray. With one of my, I want to just give a shout out for the list name creativity. Some of these lists have fantastic names. I still hate all of you for not putting your names on your list, but at least the names are creative when you did come up with creative names. So we have Daniel Wright here facing off against Nate Murray.
What do you want, Corey?
Another rookie.
I'll take the ogre list.
Okay.
Ogres. All
Is that
right.
what we're starting with?
We can start with ogres.
Okay.
All right. So we've got 4 hordes of hunters with crack dogs. We got 2 boomer chariot troops. We've got the mammoth big deal. We've got a red goblin blaster, 2 crack dog wranglers, a berserker bully, 1 ogre warlock with lightning bolt and drain life, and then Namagarak and Kuzlo and Madfall. Easy, right?
That went
So and
fast,
that's
yeah.
14 units for 20 unit strength.
Caught me off guard how fast they went.
Right?
All right. Shifting over to Alibaba and the 40 halflings.
All right, Alibaba and the 40 halflings. He has a regiment and 2 hordes of stalwarts. The regiment has 2-handed weapons, and one of the hordes has hammer measured force. He has 3 regiments of grenadiers, a horde of forest trolls, a regiment of jugger cav, a harvester, an iron beast with pride of the shires, an engineer with Aura Wild Charge 1, Radiance of Life, gadgets and gizmos, and holy shnikes. 2 saucers, one with Inspiring Talisman and Sacred Horn. The other one has Sacred Horn. 2 mustard captains on wings, Arrowlez, which one of them has Meat of Madness for 15 units and 27 unit strength.
Fun list. Looking at it, we have another close matchup. We got a lot of these that are actually a lot closer than I expected. I haven't seen a complete blowout yet. Nothing over 75, which is impressive. We've got a slightest of slight edge for Daniel here. So what does Nate, using his ogres, specifically the 4 hordes of hunters, which that's definitely this it doesn't have siege breakers. That's just incredible. Travis, what does he got to do to beat up on these halflings?
Honestly, that ensnare is going to come in handy.
I was gonna say, he's
Right?
gonna walk forward
Melee
and beat him.
4 everywhere. It's going to be a problem.
Like, the grenadiers are hitting on 5s if they get into stuff. Like, honestly, I like the ogres.
Yeah, and I think the crowd got it wrong in this one too.
I mean, I like halflings when Felix runs them. They're gross because I roll great against them.
Right.
And the harvester,
Just 'cause he's
well,
mid-table.
there's not enough harvesters in this list. Is really what it is.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
not a harvester, which is kind of odd. I
Yeah.
will say that, especially with his hordes and stuff like that he's got, the ogres don't generally bring more than 18 attacks on something. So it's like
Right.
those stalwarts, they'll take 18 attacks to the front all day long. You know, it's just like, okay, cool. I've generally not ever really lost against ogres, so it's kind of one of those. But my style is different than what Dan's bringing, so I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, but are you normally the ogres running into 4 hordes of hunters?
Right. It's all
Where
the
everything on your list hits on 5s that you want in combat? Like,
you can really get easy multi-charges on those hordes of stalwarts too. You know, it's going to be tough. I really don't
and
love
with them
the
having
matchup for the
brutal
halflings.
and I mean, yeah,
Brutal
honestly,
two,
I
brutal
mean,
Two.
Right. Like I said, I don't.
Wranglers get in the way.
Yeah, my
those-
halflings don't look like that, so it's kind of it's one of those like I don't know. Like, maybe he's seeing something I'm not, but yeah, it's not a list I would play. But that doesn't mean.
I mean, I think the list looks cool. I just don't know if he wants to run into a normal ogre list. Maybe he'd like to run into.
Yeah, especially because
hordes?
right, and he's not leaning into the lightning spam either, so that spell ward's not going to really come into play as much, you know.
Right.
So, it's like you're not wrong. I think halflings have a pretty good matchup against ogres normally, but
right.
I just
But nobody runs lots of hunters.
not this many.
Yeah.
Right.
Alrighty. Shifting us over to table, I want to say 18? Yes, table 18. We have Jeff Schilkin with amazing photo from, I think that's New York Masters, looking at the floor.
Yeah.
Get the list prepped here. Playing off against Jesse Garrett out of the South. This is.
I'll take Jeff if you don't mind, Felix.
Yep, that's fine.
Ready. Well, you can start us off with Jeff if you'd like. Whenever you're ready.
Absolutely. For the record, Jeff's son got a goblin army from me for getting straight A's on a report card. So, well done, sir. Jeff is playing Snogers. He's tabled countless humans with this list. Let's go into it. 1, 2, 3 regiments of warriors. Makes sense. That's where they stop the unlock. And a horde of warriors. 1, 2, 3 hordes of siege breakers. He has a troop of boomer chariots with the secret horn, giving them the stealthy 9-inch aura. He has 1, 2, 3 sergeants with the heavy crossbows, no upgrades. He has 1, 2, 3 ogre warlocks, all of which have lightning bolt 3. 1 has drain life 5, and of course they have the bonus dice for ogre units. And he has Namagrok, which is Bane Chant 3, Heal 4, Lightning Bolt 4, and Bloodlust, which gives him a lot of units. 15 drops, which is pretty high, actually, if we look at the Ogre field, and 26 unit strength, which is kind of in the middle for Masters, but an interesting list nonetheless.
Alrighty. Shifting over to another fantastically named list.
Yep. This is Jesse Garrett. I believe he's out of the West. I think so.
South.
Maybe.
South.
South. Okay,
South
he's out of the South. Gotcha. Well, his list is 2 chains, which is nice. I like it. Plus on that one. He's got 2 regiments of abyssal ghouls, 2 hordes of the Molochs, both with despoiler champions. Gives them brutal. And let's see. Yeah, 4 regiments of tortured souls. Then 2 Pronae. I don't know how that would work, which laws of plurals we're doing. I don't know if that's Greek or Latin or what. Then we got the Seductress with Gnome Glass Shield, as you do. Knowledgeable and Host Shadow Beast, 3. 2 Abyssal Warlocks. And then a Well of Souls. So that's 14 drops, 23 unit strength.
Nice. Well of Souls.
Very nice.
Nifty. We have definitely an edge, about 65 to 35, going to Jeff Schilkin here and the Ogres. I believe it was up to Kyle here. Kyle,
Yeah.
what does Jesse have to do with his abyssals to beat up Ogres? To beat up Ogres with a warrior horde?
So before I give Jesse advice, Jeff is a top 10 human beings. I like Jeff. Love you, Jeff. Your son's cool. He got a goblin army from me. Now to answer your question, those 4 tortured soul regiments are actually probably the secret sauce to breaking open ogres, finding the flanks, finding the pieces. Double Cronius plus Will of Souls is a lot of heal, a lot of sustain. We're seeing a lot of these 12 to 13 drop abyssal lists that are incredibly durable. I think you're going to struggle without having the rally unit and some other pieces, but the best advice I can give to 2 Chains is if you can set those tortured souls turn 3, turn 4 to find a rear or a flank, you will pick up ogres, and if you charge too soon, you're going to lose. There's zero middle ground on your match. It's either going to be a major victory or a major defeat, and I think your 4 tortured soul regiments are going to be the entire deciding factor of that match. So play cautious, wait for the mission, and go in when it's too late for the ogres to respond. If you go in too early, you get tabled. If you go in too late, you don't score. I think it's those 4 regiments that will decide the game.
Nifty. Alrighty. Over to table 19. We got Jesse Berglund. Berglund? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, then you can make fun of me for it later. That's pretty standard. Alrighty. Do my best, but I'm definitely an American. Alright.
Nobody questioned it. Nobody questioned you, Matt.
I know.
Not at all.
Face off, we got Sean Blakemore out of Tennessee. That's an amazing photo. These have been some great photos, guys. Who would like to read John's Dwarves or Jesse's?
Your call,
Elves?
Trav. Your call, buddy.
I'll read Jesse's.
Starting us off with Jesse.
Yep. So Jesse's bringing elves this year. He's got 2 hordes of Sea Guard, 2 troops of Silver Breeze, 2 regiments of Stormwind Cav, 1 with Mead and 1 with, I guess, the Quicksilver Lancers and the Helm upgrade. Or upgraded Quicksilver Lancers, and he added the Helm, sorry. A regiment of Dracons, Elven Mage with Inspiring Talisman. He took the Tempest, Banechant 2, Mindfog 3, Army Standard Bearer with Loot, a Lord on Drakon with Staying Stone, the formation, so 2 regiments of Drakon Riders, and the Lord with Pipes for 13 drops and 24 unit strength.
Fun stuff. Down on the bottom of the list there. All right, shifting over to John.
And John Blakemore with yet another dwarf army. So we've got 2 regiments of Iron Guard. No, Mastiffs. And then we have a regiment of Iron Watch rifles, 3 troops of sharpshooters, Golok's Fury, 2 stone priests, both with Radiance of Life, 1 with Conjurer's Staff, Banechant, Mindfog, Scorched Earth, the other one with Talisman of Silence, Mindfog, Banechant. And then we've got Faber, and we've got a Dwarf Lord on Large Beast, and then the Dwarf Formation with, let's see, the Bulwarkers. 1 regiment has Pipes of Terror, the other one Brew of Strength, and the Horde of Ironclad are naked, as is the Standard Bearer. Not a Mastiff to be seen in this army. Overrun by cats. No dogs in this dwarf kingdom.
Looking at the matchup, this is another close one. We've got a slight, ever so slight edge to Jesse running those elves. So, Corey, what does John have to do to beat up Jesse? What do the dwarves have to do to overcome this? Take throwing dogs, I think, is the first step.
I don't know. It's a weird list. I appreciate the uniqueness, not diving into the dogs, but there's a lot invested in those 2 stone priests. And I mean, the bulwarkers could maybe hamper some of the charges from the cab and the Dracons, but they're so fast they're gonna hit whatever they want. He doesn't have enough shooting, even with the 3 sharpshooter troops, to really punish the elves here. So I think Jesse can kind of wait him out and pick his charges wherever he wants. He's got plenty of shooting to wear down the dwarves over time. Yeah, I don't think those Iron Watch riflemen are long for this world, unfortunately.
Give it your best.
Points for uniqueness, John. Points for originality. I like that.
That's always a favorite here. All right. Shifting over to table 20, we've got Justin Robbins, Baskin Robbins, another rookie. I think Jesse was also a rookie too, technically. Shifting over some lists here. Sure, I got them.
The rookies. Let's be very clear about that.
Oh yeah, no, there's a ton. There's an absolute truckload of first timers here, which is great. That's great. Like, it's wonderful to see new people at Masters. So, and a ton at Best the Rest as well. In addition, fighting off him, this is going to be a great matchup. We've got Tyler Schultz.
Felix, do you want the Dead Zone Master or Justin?
I want Tyler.
Everybody knew.
All right, I'll
Is
let
that
you have
even a
Tyler.
question?
Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, we're talking about the game, right? Oh, never mind.
All right. You can start us off, Felix.
Alrighty, so Tyler Schultz coming in from the mountain regions, bringing his Empire of Dust. I don't know if he's bringing in the. He might be able to correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's bringing the. What they call the terracotta army that he had a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Yes.
awesome.
It's an amazing army. So he's got 2 regiments of skeleton spearmen. One regiment's got the orbit-tiring presence to give it knight unit strength 4. He's got a horde of skeleton warriors with the healing brew, 2 hordes of enslaved guardian archers, one with blessing the gods, the other one with chant of hate. Then a horde of enslaved guardians with the Sir Jesse's boots of striding, 1 swarm of scavengers, a soul snare, an undead worm, the monolith, a cursed high priest with amulet of the fireheart, heal 5 and surge 8, the idol of Shobek, and 1 reanimated behemoth. So that is 13 drops, 22 unit strength.
50? I don't know what we got going on with Justin.
So looking at Justin, for the record, he's against the most generic EOD list you could possibly imagine. And that makes sense because he took pretty clean ogres. He has 1, 2, 3 warrior regiments. That's where the unlocks stop. He has 1, 2, 3 siegebreaker hordes with Staying Stone, Chalice of Wrath, and Dwarven Ale, as we've seen them come. He has a Boomer Chariot troop with Sacred Horn, 9-inch stealthy. Can't be mad about that. Has a giant, the first giant we've seen, I think, in the entire tournament, Matt. Is that correct?
Coral Giant.
Coral Giant.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We did have a Coral Giant.
2 Berserker Bullies, because they're the best ogre heroes. 1, 2, 3 Ogre Warlocks and Namagarok, giving you the 4 Lightning Bolt battery with heal, Bane Chant, etc. It's worth noting all 3 of his ogres have Drain Life 5, plus the ogre bonus dice so they can get up to Drain Life 8. That puts him at only 14 drops, unit strength 23, pretty average for U.S. Masters 2023. But God, that's a lot of terrifying power.
For the record, I just want to point out that you're like 2 Berserker heroes, the best hero in it, and immediately following that are 3 Ogre Warlocks. And I want you to know that if 3 is a higher number than 2, Kyle, I know you're drunk, but it's okay.
And a 4th Ogre Warlock.
Yeah,
so
we
none
count
of
Nom,
Ross is
we're
an Ogre
technically
Warlock
4,
on
yeah.
steroids.
Yeah, so I would argue it's actually Warlocks, but
So he's got 6 of the best heroes in the game, I would argue, because they both score and kill chaff.
looking at the matchup here, we've got an edge to Justin over Tyler, but a very close one, and I actually think this is giving, despite Justin being a rookie, this is actually pretty correct, I think.
It's going to be a good match, though.
Yeah, he is no slouch. I believe it's Felix?
It's to Felix. Let me
Inebriate yourself.
creatively
Cool,
tell
excellent.
you
Felix,
it's Felix.
what is
Yeah.
Tyler? What
Does my boy got to do?
what does your boy got to do to beat up on the most, honestly, in my opinion, possibly the most optimized ogre list there's going to be?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'm seeing is besides the giant, there's not a lot of terrain mitigation stuff. So, I mean, it's gonna be tough, right? Because he's gonna have to survive those charges, especially from the siege breakers. The only way to really do that is to, give them those hinder charges and hope that the warlocks just can't, drain life the hell out of his units. Because what that drain life gives those ogres a surprising amount of grind ability, probably on par with what the Empire Dust is able to bring. So Kyle has to give that guy as bad of charges as he can give them, and then hope he can weather the storm, and then use those units that are stalled into combat, give them flanks and stuff like that. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. But
Probably the biggest deciding factor is actually going to be how well he uses the enslaved guardian archer's wind blast. If that goes well, he's got it. But if Tyler makes a misplay or makes even one mistake, he's gone.
It's the wrong enslaved guardians. Those ones don't have wind blast.
That sucks for Tyler. Disregard all advice. Tyler's
Tyler's
in a bad spot.
And they don't even come with it anymore. You gotta buy it now, man.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I feel like we can blame Corey for that, by the way. That's exclusively Corey's fault.
Yep, definitely. Very Corey sitting quiet over there, doing nothing wrong. All right, anyway, table 21. We got Jonathan. We get his list up while we admire his coming out of the Massachusetts and the Northeast. At least I assume that's Massachusetts. I don't know how you abbreviate that.
Mid-Atlantic.
You are so Texas.
What do you mean? He's from the mountain region. Don't even.
I'm honored to have that title, man. All right,
we loaned it. We loaned him to the Northeast.
We loaned.
They needed help up there.
Yeah. And then we've got oh, so he's a merc. Sorry, that was what you were saying. Okay, I misunderstood.
No, he's not a merc.
He's not.
No. John Deason is from the Northeast. Yep.
Okay.
He originally was from Iowa, though.
Ah, gotcha. So he moved. Okay. So not a merc, just has actually moved from region to region.
He flew out this way.
He
gotcha.
Did. So we loaned him. We loaned him for a little bit.
Playing off against Sean Polka out of Nevada crew.
Or you got the loaner?
I'll take Johnny Sleeves. All right, so John is playing Night Stalkers. He's got a regiment of Scarecrows with the Warbow of Kaba. Nice throwback. 3 troops of Phantoms, 4 hordes of Butchers, 4 regiments of Soul Flayers, 1 with the Blade of Slashing. a Horror Rift Weaver, a Portal of Despair, and then 2 Butcher Flesh Rippers. Tight and trim for 16 units, 29 unit strength.
Everything made sense until the Horror Rift Weavers, honestly. That's a last year list.
Could have been a 3rd Butcher Flesh Ripper, right?
Yeah. Shift it over to Sean.
All right, Sean's got Forces of Nature. He has 2 regiments of Hunters of the Wild, one called First Tooth Tribe, one called Green Bear Children. 3 hordes of Forest Shamblers, the Nomadic Grove, the Circle of Soils, and the Grove of Ivies.
Shit.
2 greater air elementals, Cloudwing and Dreambeak. 2 Beasts of Nature, Mahogany and Bangog. I don't know that one. Love it. Increasing their attacks to 7. Karis, or his name's Karis. We're not changing that.
No.
Gladewalker Druid to Juniper. He has the Forest Steed, Ring of Harmony, Crown of the Wizard King, so heal 4 and surge 8. Kapoka has heal 4 and weakness 3. And a Tree Herder, the Spirit of Peck with the Wilt Father upgrade and surge 8 for 13 units and 20 unit strength.
50.
Barely getting in that 20 unit strength.
Pretty light.
This is
Light in the ass.
This is a thin list.
Yeah.
Because I got monsters for days.
This is also the closest matchup I think we've had. Yeah, literally this. So we can't actually get a tie because there are 91 responses, and someone actually responded in between when we started this matchup cast because there were 90 at the start of the matchup cast. So literally that response changed this from a tie. It also means that we can't possibly have a tie. So I'm going to say that this was actually a tie. So Travis gets to use his excuse to say that this is going to be a tie.
Here's your excuse.
I don't know, man. This is a thin Forces of Nature list.
Yeah, but like clearly
against 4 Soul Reaver regiments.
Yeah, and 4 hordes of butchers.
And some butcher
and 3 troops of phantoms.
I mean,
granted, Kapoka gets that phalanx out there, so all the Soul Reavers are -1 to hit, losing Thunderous. But I mean, at first I was like, oh, I like it because the Beast of Nature, but then I realized, oh, they're on foot, so they're not going to be.
They're on foot, right?
They're not far flanking. I was like, oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, even with that aura, right, for phalanx, like it only stretches so far.
Yeah, it can't be everywhere, right?
And it doesn't stretch the flanks, like.
Yeah. And those butchers are going to make a nice long line in front.
And you got 16 units against 13. Like Jonathan's got the extra edge to pick some stuff where he wants to go.
Yep. And
I would have liked to drop that Rift Weaver though.
Yeah, if it was a Butcher Flesh Whipper, it'd be.
If he had
better. Yeah. But I mean, he's got so much stuff. If it's a scenario where there's pillage tokens out there or whatever, he could just go grab them all because he's got so many extra units that he could just throw out there.
I will say he loses a point for me for having the Horror Rift Weavers. Clearly, that's a last.
But honestly, in this one, it's actually not bad in this one because it's the second Dread source.
You want some Dread?
Actually, in this matchup particular, it actually comes in handy because you can spread Dread out against
put Dread on 2 flanks, right?
A very elite Forces of Nature list. Like,
and that's probably exactly why it's there, just for that second source of Dread to be able to move around.
I mean, I don't know. It probably will be a close game though. Just, I mean, those 4 Shamblers.
Yeah, Sean knows
hard to get rid of. Sean knows.
He did really well at Seattle.
Right.
So
I mean, we know Sean. So, like, I think it'll be a very good game. But I would give the edge to the Night Stalkers.
Of course.
But it'll be close. I think honestly the pick is right. It's 50-50. I mean, it could go either way. A draw? I don't think this one will be a draw though.
Sure.
It's going to go one way.
It's going to be a big swing one way.
It'll snowball for somebody. It will.
Alrighty. Shifting over to table 22, we have Jeff O'Neill. Hold the slide for a minute. Coming out of Alabama. Old Reliable. I think this is every single freaking Masters if it's at 7. I don't actually know the total number we're up to at this point.
I don't think he's been to all of them because I know
No,
when they were
because
back
when it was in February, he couldn't make
Yeah,
it
he
to the
couldn't
one in
go.
February.
I would say he
Okay.
missed a couple in February.
Oh, this is
but-
7th. This I might be misunderstanding how Mike did the slides. Shout out to
I
Mike.
mean, he
Grant,
certainly
who
has
did all these slides.
qualified, I believe, every year. But
Yes, that sounds more. That's what I was going to say. Is
he
I'm
couldn't
assuming that
actually
he's
go.
right. He's
Because of his
qualified for
job.
all 7 Masters, but has never actually gone to all 7. Okay, that makes more sense.
'cause, yeah,
Playing against a brand new rookie. If I butcher this, I'm so sorry. Kylis Amin.
Hey, pretty good. Nice job.
Okay, solid. Coming out of Massachusetts.
Speaking of low unit strength armies, let's get to this one.
against the high unit strength army.
Right.
Or a high,
Kyle,
high
I'm gonna
unit army.
A unit count.
Kyle,
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you read Jeff's list. And Felix, you're gonna take Kyle's list here.
Okay.
So whenever you are ready, Kyle. Kyle, you're muted.
I didn't think that was possible to mute Kyle.
Kyle was muted and still reading.
He's got this.
Oh god.
So
Quality
we're at,
TV.
We're
I
at
don't think-
Goblin Rabble. Right now
think
we've
he
got
has-
multiple Goblin Rabbles.
I
Yes,
think he
we
has
have-
us
Travis.
muted.
We have multiple rock robbers.
Yeah, he's
A
trying.
couple bolt throwers. I don't even
Yeah.
have the list up, and I'm going with it. We got a few
You're
very
not
few
wrong.
Bangets in there. A couple wizards here and there.
You know, no, this is good. This is solid guesswork.
This is
You keep trying, Kyle. You're still muted.
Grony snark.
Grony, yep, you got a Grony. Couple.
Is he thinking
What, he
about
only
that?
has 2 wingets? 1 winget? 2 wingets?
3 wingets.
3
I didn't realize I was muted.
You were
I
muted the
apologize.
whole
So we have
time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5
We all love it though.
regiments,
That's fine.
or 6 hordes of Goblin Rabble, 1 with Warbow of Kava. 1, 2, 3 regiments of Spinach, 1 with Fire. It's a weird choice, but with 5 points, there's nothing else in Goblins worth taking. 1, 2, 3 big rock throwers, because there's nothing better to counter Scorch Wings than big rock throwers.
I disagree.
Sharp stick throwers, 1, 2, 3.
Those
They're
are
like rock
correct.
throwers, but cheaper. Grony Snark, as you do. We have Bangets, 1, 2, only 2. 1 with Talisman of Silence and 1 with Zephyr Crown. Objective play MVP. I just lost to it last tournament. Be warned. 3 wizards, 1 with Conjurer Staff, 1 with Boomstick, and 1 with Alchemist Curse. They all hurt. Jeff tied me with 24 drops, but he lost to me with only 27 unit strength because Jeff is a pretend Goblin King. Just because he's better than me in every way doesn't mean he's actually better. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody ever does.
It's fine.
But yeah,
Just keep
Jeff,
going.
Jeff's list is terrifying, and you should respect him at all times.
I mean, I was about to question the wind blast, but then I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, it did take several turns to get the Bangets range, so it does have a purpose.
Last tournament, Jeff's win blast took him from a guaranteed Kyle win to a draw to a Jeff win on turn 6. So don't underestimate Wind Blast. It cost me a win over Keith Randall. Hashtag not salty.
Never.
0-4 against
Okay.
Keith.
We'll go with Callus. Or Callus. Bringing Order of the Green Lady. So that's the second Order of the Green Lady list we got.
Yes.
Got
Yep,
3
yep.
regiments
Marco,
of
Marco
Naiad.
Rubio had it too.
Yes. It's got 3 regiments of Naiad Heart Piercers. A horde of the Order of the Brotherhood Cavalry with the banner of the Green Lady and Vial of Sacred Water. So it's got, and Crystal Pendant of Retribution. So it can heal. It's got Pathfinder and blows up on you. That's a thing. Got the Order of the Forsaken with the Vial of Sacred Water. 1 Greater Water Elemental, a Beast of Nature with wings. That's how you do it. Avatar of the Green Lady. 3 Unicorn Heroes. 1 with the loot. in Lightning Bolt 5. One with the Gnome Glass Shield, Lightning Bolt 5, and then one with just Lightning Bolt 5. And then a Champion the Green Lady that is 12 drops and 15 unit strength. Woo. That is
strength
trim.
that Jeff has drops. Yeah.
Yeah, that is trim.
For the record,
I don't hate this
Marcelo,
list, though.
I know how to pronounce your name. We played at Masters last year. You're a fantastic dude. I'm so sorry I butchered at the beginning. I was so unbelievably stressed.
Marcelo is, in fact, my favorite Marcelo in Kings of War, and I told him that at Adepticon. So.
That's fair. That's a good way to do it. All right.
I love Marcelo's list.
I will. So speaking of,
I hate his round one.
I will say that this is probably the actual first landslide closest to holy shit picks here.
Is it not 100%?
It's not quite 100%, but 95 is pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
And probably about as
It's
close
even
as,
higher than mine, 90%. Wow. Okay.
yeah. So all that being said, I believe we're on Travis. Travis, what is
Figure it out, Travis. Figure it out.
I will interpret for Kyle. Okay. Good luck.
Yeah,
shoot! Sorry, I'm backwards. This is Felix's turn. Sorry, I gotta catch up here. Keep me on it, guys.
Kylus, I too have been offered up as a first round sacrifice to Jeff O'Neill in a GT.
Yes.
So,
all he plays is goblins, so.
Yeah, I would say, if anything, I mean, take out his unit strength and hope he just sucks at like all the other things that'll actually kill you. That's your only real hope.
Listen, for all that it's worth, Kylus may get his teeth kicked in, but his army is going to be like one of the contenders for best looking army there. It's just fucking phenomenal. So I'm so happy he's going because it just is a thing of beauty to behold. And that horde of knights is legit.
I'll have to check that out when I get there.
It's worth it.
As a decent goblin player, what you're looking to do is completely use your Order of the Brotherhood Horde to systematically remove unit strength and win the game. Your Order of the Forsaken probably going to get lightning bolted / catapulted off. Your Horde of Cav is your MVP. If you lose it, you lose the game. If you keep it till turn 6, you win the game. That being said, Jeff is probably the best goblin player in the world. So, RIP, bro.
Yeah,
RIP.
best of luck. That's all I gotta say. Good luck.
Alrighty.
I've never beat Jeff, and I'm a good goblin player.
I'll be
It'll be over
excited to
quick.
meet you, man.
It'll be over quick.
That's my thought here. Is like we've got so many rookies. I'm happy to meet all of them. Already, we've got table 23. Blake Robertson coming out of Nevada. This one I do know. Playing against him, we have Jason Burr. I don't know him. We've never.
He's good people.
You don't know Jason?
Yeah.
You don't know Jason.
I don't know Jason. We've never hung out.
You're gonna learn next weekend.
You have hung out. Anytime you hang out with
That
Billy
was
Adam and
fucking
I,
facetious.
you've hung out with Jason.
That was facetious.
The sarcasm isn't translating.
You have hung out with him. A lot of alcohol has been consumed.
I know. He doesn't remember a lot of those times. All right. Travis, which list do you want to take?
Of course, my boy Jason.
You want to take
That's right.
Jason's? Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Even though I hate the list he's bringing,
That's also fair.
I mean, he's going to lose. I mean, he's listening right now and texting me in the side, so I know he's
in the
loving
chat.
it.
All right, get us started.
All right. We'll do Jason's bullshit elves, because why not? He's got a Horde of Palace Guard. He's got a troop of Forest Guard. He has 2 regiments of Gladestalkers. He has a troop and a regiment of Silver Breeze. He has a horde of Dracons with Striding. He has 2 Elven Archmages that they only know how to Lightning Bolt. They brought Banechant just because. He has a Lord on Drakon with pipes. He has the formation with the 2 regiments and the Lord on Drakon, who has the Trickster's Wand for 13 drops and 23 unit strength. Is that boring enough for elves? Oh, thanks, Jason.
Jeez.
He told me to be lively. Was that the opposite?
Look, man, you're doing great. What is Blake bringing to the table? It's definitely
So
Night
Blake,
Stalkers.
it's definitely Night Stalkers. So we got 2 hordes of scarecrows, 2 troops of phantoms, 2 hordes of butchers, one with the sharpness, one with striding, 2 regiments of soul flayers, one with madness, one with the brew haste, a planar apparition, 3 mind screeches, a shadow hulk, and a Shanishra for 14 units, 23 unit strength.
I'll be flat out honest. I got super confused by the Mind Screeches for a second because they didn't have the selection profile. 'cause
selection.
This is
Right,
the
right, yeah.
previous, This is
I
the
did
old
too. I was
Night
like,
Stalker
wait,
list.
there's 4. What?
Yeah, I was like, where's
Yeah.
the planner version? Clearly.
Yep.
But yeah, this makes more sense. This one I expect to be close, and yeah, we've got a pretty close, ever so slight edge to Jason. I would probably give him a bit more of an edge personally, but
No.
it is Night Stalkers.
He
No.
lost to me
Sure.
with me rolling 3 dice. No. Jason loses.
Corey, what does Blake have to do to overcome Elf Filth? Our favorite.
Throw a lot of lightning bolt. Throw a lot of lightning bolt.
Yeah, throw it back at him.
Yep.
These guys are just going to throw a lightning bolt all over the place.
Exactly. Eshanishra should be able to pin down some of the Dracons eventually, so I think he's got a decent chance to make a good game of it. The scarecrows will be a pain in the ass to deal with over time, but and that Shadow Hulk's always there.
Yeah, Shadow Hulk's
He's a pain to deal with.
Yep, they haven't changed. No comment. Alrighty. Over to Jared Holcomb, coming out of Kansas. Table 24. Get things set up here. Neither of these players labeled their lists.
Goblins.
Hold on. Neither of these players labeled their lists, so I have to figure out which one's which. Okay, so he's playing...
For starters, I'm pretty drunk. So if you could label your list next year, that would help a lot.
It's fine. He's playing goblins.
Yeah.
So looks like he's playing. Yeah, it's goblins. And playing against him is Ray. I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of your last name. And I also played at
Wyant.
Masters last year. Wyant, say it again.
Ray Wyant.
Ray Wyant.
Wyant, thank
Yeah.
you. Fantastic dude, awesome guy. Presumably, if he's not bringing his undead again, which he's not, so it's not a billion zombies this time. So I'm almost disappointed, but that's fair.
Felix, I'm going to take the goblins, and you can suck it.
Got it. I'll take Ray.
All right. Masters 2023 copy, which I'm assuming he's only meaning copy me. Thank you. I appreciate it. 1, 2, 3, 4 hordes of rabble. Groggers, lugger lads. They sort of aren't that great anymore, but you do you, bro.
Sure.
2 Mincer mob chariot regiments, one with brew of strength, one's brew of sharpness. Brew of sharpness, A+, brew of strength. You're going to get catapulted off the table when you face Joseph Neal turn 3. That's on you. 3 war trombones, because you are a good player. 3 mop-up launchers. You're not here for sports votes. Sorry, bro. 1 flag it with Loot of Insatiable Darkness. The only way to take a goblin. Flag it. 65 points, Bane Chant, hashtag MVP. 1 bang it, 2 bang it. 1 with Inspiring Talisman, that's the Cowpull special. The second one, that's just you wasting 60 points. And the Goblin Formation, which gives you the cavalry that explode and do a bunch of bullshit for no reason. Fire Oil, Love that 5-point choice. Staying Stone. Goblins just die. Staying Stone's a weird choice. And the Goblin King with short bow. That's literally how he comes. No extra points. No wasted items. Well played by you. 19 drops. Sock for a Goblin. High for Masters. Unit strength 26. Bro, those are rookie numbers. You got to pump those numbers up. I'm not judging you, but you should feel bad.
But we're judging
Just
you.
saying.
But we're judging you.
Also, I have 3 drinks here, so hashtag chat. Let me know. Liquor, water, beer. All right,
It's
1,
fucking
2,
water is
3.
the
Please
answer.
help me out. I'm confused.
Good chat. All right.
Alrighty. Okay. Having said that, go with Ray Wyatt, coming out of the Mid-Atlantic or Northeast now?
Mid-Atlantic.
He had to deal with him. He's a nice man.
Yeah, he's. So he's got a regiment of Abyssal Guard, a horde of Lower Abyssals, 2 regiments of Flame Bearers, 2 troops of Gargoyles, a regiment of Hellhounds with Sir Jesse's Boots, a regiment of Abyssal Horsemen, an Abyssal Fiend with the Fireball 10, an Abyssal Champion with Wings. When I ran Abyssals briefly in 2018, I nicknamed him Flappy Ass Hat. So there you go. Then the Seductress with Gnome Glass Shield, as you do, with Mind Fog 2. And then Zazuzu, the Betrayer, the Despoiler Champion with the Blade of Slashing, and then the Manifestation of Baal. You got 14 drops and 23 unit strength.
Alrighty. Looking at the actual votes. Oh, scrolling down a little too far. We've got 60% at an edge going to Jared, which I definitely think that's. If anything, I'm a little surprised it's not a bit higher. But that said, I haven't seen Ray take things that weren't zombies before, so how does he win? Felix, what does Ray have to do to beat up Jared's goblins? Which in fairness are definitely up there in terms of filth.
Yeah. If he had more units kind of like Succubi, I would say, yeah, he'd have the number of attacks to chew through a lot of the stuff that the goblins were bringing. That being said, I think Ray's army is kind of built more towards a more elite opponent. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, honestly, if he can just take out the unit strength, I mean, it's just goblins in general, but good luck taking out all that nerve and basically a 7-turn game.
The best answer is if Ray can kill the formation, the goblins don't have the answers to kill Ray's army with Ensnare and all the other stuff that Abyssals have. But if you let the formation run wild, Ray's going to get tabled. It's not even going to be close. It's going to be a tabling. You kill the formation, you got a shot. You don't kill the formation, you get tabled. And if we look at YouTube chat, I would like to point out that they asked me to combine my drinks, Matt. So while Corey reads lists, I'm just going to do this.
Jesus.
And regret my life choices tomorrow, not today.
Yep, that's on you, man. All right. On to probably the staple of the South, let's call it. We've got Mark Cox, who's qualified. I feel like it says 6, so I guess he missed out on 1 year, but damn, still.
Was that the year he was running it in 21?
That's probably what happened. Probably almost qualified for that, or just didn't give a shit. Facing off here against Corey Wilzer. Hopefully that was correct.
Walliser.
Okay, there we go. See, I got
Although
it wrong.
I am
You
going to
get to
start
mock
calling
me
him Wilzer.
forever.
Yep, now his name is Wilzer.
Wilzer.
Yeah,
I'm doing it too.
you get to mock me forever now. Alrighty. Who wants to take Mark and who wants to take Corey?
Oh, I'm taking Corey. Best name
Yeah,
in
I
the
was gonna-
game, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense. If you want to start us off, Corey,
And the best picture on this slideshow.
that's
too.
definitely pretty. It's a good one, man. Again, we've had outstanding pictures.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
People went to the well for this one, baby. So Corey's got the Ogres of Omaha. So he's starting out with 2 hordes of hunters, one with a brew of haste, 2 hordes of siege breakers with Chalice of Wrath and a staying stone,
Hold on.
2
hold on.
regiments. Oh, am I
These
getting ahead of
names-
you?
These names.
Oh, you want me to read the names?
These are pretty fucking good.
I'm gonna take longer than Kyle now to read these off. All right, I'll
I'm
go through all the
sorry.
names. I'm going
They're
through all the
worth it.
names. Here's the hunters. Hunter horde number 1. We won the Indy 500. We didn't know we could run that fast. That's the one with the brew of haste. And then the other hunter horde is those other guys are just braggarts. Siege breakers, the ones with the chalice of wrath. We have anger issues. The second one with the staying stone is we are pretty chill. Berserker Braves, number 1. We have no self-preservation instinct. And the second regiment, us neither. The Red Goblin Scouts. Why are we the only goblins? We got 2 warrior chariot regiments. This is a troop. The first one's a troop with the skirmishers' boots. Never mind the big gun we have, small genitals. And then the other one is Lucky Day, Dusty Bottoms, and a little Natty. Oh, Croc Dog Wrangler, Chops McGillicuddy. And then 2 Ogre Warlocks, Ronnie Rough Road is with the Conjurer's Staff, Lightning, Drain Life, and Scorched Earth. And then Steve the Pirate with Lightning Bolt and Drain Life.
Yeah.
And then Nom Nom is still Nom Nom. And that's 13 units, 23 unit strength.
Appreciate your due diligence, Corey. All right, Travis, take us
All
on,
right.
Mark.
Mark's bringing Northern Alliance. He didn't do fancy names. Thanks, Mark. He's got 2 regiments of Icekin Hunters, one with the Orb of Towering Presence, 2 hordes of Snow Trolls, one with Staying Stone, a Frostfang Horde with Brew of Haste, a Frost Giant with the Giant Cleaver, a Ice Queen with Conjurer's Staff, Icy Breath 10, Heal 5, Bane Chant 2, 2 Lords on Frostfangs, both with Snow Foxes, one with Mesa Crushing and one with Pipes, a Snow Troll Prime with Meat of Madness, and then Harim for 11 drops and 21 unit strength.
We have the edge going to Mark. 60% to 40%. I don't know that I've met Corey, and if I have, I probably would remember, and that's
How have you not met Corey? He's been at every Masters.
Corey's been to every. You've met him.
Shit. Okay,
Jesus.
well then, damn, I'm just a bad person then, bad friend. Corey, we'll need to have a drink or 3.
Or a few more.
That might be why you don't remember him.
That's fair.
Yeah,
we have the
New
edge.
York, we were pretty toasty.
That's true.
Yep.
Mark has the edge at about 60%. With having not seen Corey on a table, I will say that I probably agree with this, at least on principle. I honestly don't know which of you is up to call. What does Corey need to do to beat up Mark? Getting him drunk is not an option for the record.
No, the 2 Frost Giants are they're problematic, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Corey's got some tools. I mean, the Scorched Earth Hunters combo I really like, and there's not a lot in this list that hits on 3s outside of the Frostfang Lords and the Snow Troll Prime, so he could probably use that to pretty good advantage, I think.
yeah.
What do you think, Travis?
Yeah, I mean, those hunters jamming him with the hunters, so then the siege breakers get to come in and swing, and the Braves
And the chariots are pretty fast too. So
and he's got the chariots. I mean, I don't know. I think the ogres, in my mind, with the extra lightning bolt and stuff, would have the edge over Mark's Northern Alliance, just because of the little extra speed and he's got the little shooting to take off
Frostbane
or
Cav.
put some wounds on some things. Yeah, like,
Frostbane Cav. Fucking hate Lightning Bolt.
but
Wrong.
I don't know. It should be. I mean, it should be a good game. They're pretty elite. Both lists are. I mean, they're
Yep.
gonna run into each other and just slaughter each other.
Yeah, just most of the Ogre stuff hits on 3s,
It's
while a lot
just-
of the Northern
right.
Alliance stuff hits on 4s.
Because I know, like, for me, the biggest thing with like Rim is hitting on, being a legendary giant that hits on 4 sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer.
I always roll bad with him.
4s are swingy.
Yep, never fails.
That's fair. Alrighty. Shifting us down to table 26. We have Bryce Clark coming out of Tennessee. Get things organized here. Playing up against him is Donnie Croce out of Minnesota.
Felix, I refuse to read Donnie because he's the only player to outdraft me, and that's bullshit. So you get Donnie.
All right.
First Goblin list Kyle doesn't want to read. Cool. Felix, if you're ready, I have Bryce up first here.
Kyle's reading Bryce.
Oh, sorry, Kyle. I have
Yeah,
Bryce's
I've got
list. Sorry,
Bryce's ready.
That one's on me. That one's on me.
So I'm going to preface this with I love Donnie and I love Bryce, but I do not like being outdropped at the U.S. Masters. So, Donnie, really look in the mirror and think about your life.
I'm pretty sure I outdropped you every Masters I've played.
So let's go to Bryce.
You still
Bryce
like
has
me.
2 lower abyssal hordes. One with Dragon Church Shield and one with Sir Jesse's Boots of Striding. Having played him in UB, the Dragon Shard Shield, absolutely ace. J Boots, that's a waste of 15 points. Succubi Infantry Regiment with Hammer and Mr. Force. And the Lurker upgrade, that will kill you. Succubi Larva. He's got a legion of that because it's one of the best units in the game. He has the Oathbreakers Infantry Regiment. That rally is really annoying when you miss all your nerve rolls by 1 on UB every time. He has 2 Cronius because if you're going to take 1, you should take 2 so they can heal each other. He has an Abyssal Champion with the Boomstick, Lightning Bolt 7. Talk about losing your chaff. He has Zazu the Betrayer, Bane Chant 2, Lightning Bolt 4, and all the special rules that Zazu get. I've played this on UB enough to know that Zazu is busted. He has the Manifestation of Baal, Hero 1, Lightning Bolt 7 again, and a bunch of special rules. It's literally 2 paragraphs worth. Don't read it. It's not worth it. Well of Souls 1, another monster. If you're going to play Abyssals, you take Well of Souls. If you don't take Well of Souls, I don't understand why Abyssals. He only has 11 drops, unit strength 23. So at first glance, absolute waste of time. At second glance, he just doesn't die.
That's fair.
That's it. Felix, what do you got?
I've got the massive most number of drops in the U.S. Masters field this year with the Donnie Croce Goblins of Red Feather with 7 regiments of rabble and then 2 hordes of rabble. He's got 3 big rocks throwers, 3 war trombones, 2 sharpstick throwers, 1 wing it, Grony Snark, which is the Goblin King with the upgrade, 3 Bangets, 1 with Inspiring Talisman, and then the exploding cavalry formation. The Bang Sticks with 1 regiment's got the Helm of the Drunken Ram, the other one's got Brew of Strength, and the other one's not modified. So almost mind-boggling when you read it. 25 drops and 27 unit strength. So
I just want to point out, and this is just me, this is wrong, y'all. 3 of these, 2 of these. Save yourself 30 points, get better options. But I don't know what all these big rock throwers are doing. They don't hit on 4s. Hitting on 4s is key. But in any case, I expect this to
Well, the wing it does have bombs away, so it does give a lead, I think, to Lobber.
Yeah,
That's true, but I think the sharp sticks count.
It's a lead for lobber.
but sharp sticks have lobber.
Yeah,
Sharp
for
sticks
some
do
reason.
have lobber keyword for absolutely no reason.
Yeah. Anyway,
There they-
so we have
That's the reason.
we have a 60% edge going to Donnie here. It looks like. Making sure I'm getting that right. Yep, Donnie has a slight edge over Bryce. So, Kyle, briefly tell us how do you beat this 26 drop goblin list? Sorry, 25 drop, 27.
So the polite answer is you don't, but that's not what you want as Matt trying to run a YouTube channel. The best way to beat Donnie's list, to be completely honest, is be a better player, abuse cover, don't get shot, and then about turn 3, break cover, play for the mission, and you're going to win the game. If you can start getting shot turn 1, turn 2, you're going to lose to Donnie, just like I would lose to Donnie. And if you can find yourself in cover turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, you will win the game. Bryce has also beat me on UB so many times that I think the chat is incorrect, and Bryce has the advantage in this matchup. I don't see it going to Donnie.
Okay. Well, as always, prove us right, wrong, or in this case, prove everyone right, wrong. Like, that's the benefit, is you can't just blame me for getting it wrong this year. You got to blame all 91 people who have voted on this survey for getting it wrong.
Oh, no, we're going to blame you, Matt. Let's be very clear.
That's fair. As long as you're buying me shots. All right. Hitting up table 27.
I got you on the shots, man. You don't even have to buy them.
I was going to say, I hope. All right, we got rocking table 27. We have Dustin Howard with the same picture I think he used for the San Antonio Masters the last time we did these slides. Surprising no one, this is the most picked player for their top 5 Masters players, regardless of whether or not he wins at all. He made the highest pick rate for everyone's draft list. We're going to see if his curse of the last 2 Masters persists, though, where he loses round 1 and drops the bottom tables immediately. Love you, Dustin. But playing off against him to make it so hopefully that doesn't happen this year is Kevin Drury, a rookie. So we'll see. Who wants to take Dustin and who wants to take Kevin?
Up to you, Corey.
Corey, you muted.
I'll take Dustin's list.
I was assuming. I was going to guess that.
That's fair. I was going to say, don't. You're not even drunk. Kyle has an excuse. Let's go.
All right. So, Dustin, Empire of Dustin. Sorry. So, two regiments of skeleton spearmen, 2 troops of mummies, 2 troops of skeleton warriors, 3 hordes of enslaved guardians, the soul snare, an undead worm, a monolith, a pharaoh with surge 8 and host shadow beast 3. Love that. And the Beck Ray, the accursed special character there, and the idol of Shobek. So 15 drops, 22 unit strength, and all the legendary heroes.
Except one.
Oh, except one. Yep.
Poor Pappy.
Didn't have the points.
What a bummer. It drops him in Slave Guardians.
Just one more Slave Guardian.
He
Had to
missed
go.
Now he's doomed.
Opportunity to be thematic.
Yeah.
Clearly playing EOD wrong, obviously. No skill. Worst player of EOD ever. All right.
Yeah.
All you, Travis.
All right. Kevin's bringing Varinger. He's got a regiment of Draugr, 2 troops of Reavers, one with mask. Or they both have the mask, and then one has skirmisher boots and one has helm. 2 regiments of Huskarls, 2 regiments of mounted sons, both with one with brand of the warrior and boots of striding. The other has guise of the deceiver and brew of haste. 2 troops of Tundra Wolves, Lord with Snowfox, Devoted Icon, and Wings of the Honey Maze, Magnild, 2 Lords on Frostfang, both with Snow Foxes, for 13 units and 20 unit strength.
Nifty. All right,
Yeah.
this should probably not come as a surprise, but this is our second pretty hefty slant vote. We've got about 85% voting for Dustin here, to Kevin's 13. I believe we're on you, Travis.
Yeah.
What does Kevin have to do to beat not just an EOD list, but debatably the EOD list?
Yeah, I mean, he needs to get his Mounted Sons and Huskarls to pull their weight. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got to be willing to sacrifice stuff and get those into things that matter, like the Enslaved Guardians, or everything else that matters in the EOD list. But I mean, it's Dustin. It's gonna be tough. Don't get stuck on mummies like I like to do against Adam.
Oh my God, it's rough time.
Yeah,
right?
man, I hate troops of mummies. So
That Pharaoh with Kosha
And then-
is no slash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
Pharaoh's
mean-
pretty legit.
yeah, Pharaoh, you got the healing, you got, Idol itself's a dick. Undead Worm, that's gonna be sneaky. Dustin's list is good.
You know, Undead Berglund? Oh no, Undead
Yeah,
Flying. Okay, sorry.
yeah,
I was just
yeah.
like, what? No way. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. That makes so much more
Sorry.
sense. I was like, that's very much Dustin Howard's wheelhouse. I was like, the burrowing where no one takes burrowing.
No, just the Undead Worm.
All right.
Plain old worm.
Yep.
But it fly, crush 3 flying, 10 attack. It's gross against an elite Varinger list.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
They want to get stuck in, right?
right.
And that's what EOD wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be rough for Kevin's first go around at Masters.
Yep. Bad list
Take
matchup.
notes.
But yeah, if he can get those 4 heavy hitters in there, he's got the Lord that he can throw away with the wings. Magnild. He's got tools to maybe get some good matchups, but he's got to be able to, what he touch, kill.
Yep.
So, the Varinger way.
Ready. Well, best of luck to you. Maybe you can maybe Dustin's curse will keep up and you'll still beat him round 1.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Table 28, we've got Russell Romano, another rookie. Get things set up here. Versus Jeff Schilkin.
Matt, you're gonna have to take over for me. My baby has decided to not be asleep, so I'll be back in just a minute. But you're gonna have to be me.
That's fine. I'll read Jeff Schilkin's list here.
It's John Becker.
John
But-
Becker.
Is it?
Yeah,
Are you
it's
sure?
basically it's Jeff Schilkin's listed drawn from memory, right?
Are you? Are you sure?
Yeah,
This looks a lot like Jeff Schilkin.
It is. There's a couple items shifted here and there, but like I said, it's basically Jeff Schilkin's list drawn.
Little
from memory.
asterisk is right about in this corner of this page.
Yeah, because it's like there's certain items that are on. I think he takes them off the sergeants and puts them on like the
shifts them
warlock.
over, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
I
Yeah,
can't tell. This just. I'm sure this is Jeff Schilkin's. Okay.
it's
All right.
pretty close. Like I said, it's like an order from wish.com.
Excellent. Well,
I
I'll
can
read
read
Jeff
both.
Schilkin.
That's fine. I can read both. That's fine.
So I can read 2, whatever
Let's
works.
go with John Becker because it's all. Just if you listen to Jeff Schilkin's earlier, it's fairly similar. But he's got the 3 regiments of warriors, and he put Aegis of the Elohi on the horde of warriors. On the siege breakers, he's got Staying Stone, Chalice of Wrath, and Dwarven Ale. Again, Sacred Horde on the Boomer Chariot, so that 9-inch stealthy aura. Nothing on the heroes for the sergeants. That's different from Schilkin. I think he had a couple of them with those. The 3 Ogre Warlocks with Lightning Bolt 3 each, and then Namagarok. So again, 15 drops, 26 unit strength. So pretty damn close to what Schilkin has, just shifting, items here and there. So And then his opponents bring in elves. So you're talking 2 regiments of Gladestalkers, a horde of Threnian Sea Guard with a Chant of Hate. So you got a nice elite vicious combo. 2 troops in a regiment of Silverbreeze Cavalry. The regiment has Staying Stone. The troops are naked. Drakon Riders Horde with the Brew of Sharpness. A Archmage, Elven Archmage mounted on a horse with Boots of Levitation and Alchemist Curse. So taking the Keith Randall, playbook. The King's Champion, Argus Rodinar, and then as you probably could guess, the formation with the 2 regiments of Drakons and the Drakon Hero with Pipes of Terror. So that's 13 drops, 22 unit strength.
Nifty. That brings us to a pretty hefty slant for Jeff Schilkin. Or is it John Becker? So, what does Russell have to do to beat that ogre list? Felix, I think it was on you, so at that point, I will try to come up with something here. I don't know either of these lists well enough to give sound tactical advice. Obviously, the formation is very strong with the Drakons. You play keep away until you absolutely have to commit, and then you commit hard. Depending on the scenario, you might be able to just do the focus up on 2/3 and win that way. You still have the Horde of Drakons that can delete a unit when it wants to. That's always fun. There are Siege Breakers, so obviously that's the one thing you can't quite just jump into. So you either soften up the Siege Breakers, or you pick off the Warlocks. If it were me... If it were me, I wouldn't play Elves. But if we're being honest...
Yeah, fair.
I would try as hard as possible to counter battery the Warlocks, and then try to engage late. If you pick off the Warlocks fast enough, and then they can't be there late game to score, and then you dive in and pick up anything that isn't a Siegebreaker Horde if possible, that's how I think you win this. It's definitely a rough matchup, because 3 Siegebreaker Hordes and 3 Warlocks, and it's a very solid staple ogre list. But it's Kings, so it's anyone's game, right? If you come to a table and you play it right, I think you can do it. Me having to read throws things into whack, so give me 2 seconds. We are up to table 29. We're almost done the matchmaking part.
The end is in sight.
Yep. You can get to sleep, Corey. We got Danny Johnson, another rookie.
Who did these matchups, man? That's just rough.
I know, right? I feel so bad, but there are so many that the odds are odds are that you're gonna fight someone who's been there a lot. I don't think we've seen a rookie off yet, though, which that's the rough bit. Get Lex's list pulled up here. He is playing against Lex Simon, a local. His 3rd qualification, but he's definitely no slouch. Coming out of Texas. Travis, which list do you want to take? Do you want Force of Nature or do you want Alohi?
I'll do Alohi, because I have it up.
Alright. I will start you off here.
Alright. You ready?
Yep.
Everybody hold your seats. Here's Alexis Basileans. Alright. He's got Alohi. Just a lot of Alohi.
It's a few of them.
Alright, we're just going to bypass the Alohi for a sec and go to the easy stuff.
Okay, sure.
He's
We'll
got
come back.
three Phoenixes, and a Paladin Chaplain on horse with
What?
Conjure Staff, Heal 2, and Hex.
One of those
Okay.
Phoenixes is an
And
ancient.
one, I'm going back.
Okay,
This is a list. There's so much time in this list that you can go backwards.
You can go back in time.
Okay? So that Phoenix then decided to upgrade into an Ancient Phoenix, because why not? Okay, and then you keep going backwards. Now we're back to the Elohai, which has 5 regiments and 3 hordes. Okay, everybody keeping up? Okay, one of the regiments has fire oil, because why not? We had some points extra. But the hordes, they have Brew of Strength. Okay, keep up, that's disgusting. Helm, because why not? Let's add some thunder. And the best of all bests has Celestial Fury and Brew of Sharpness. Because who doesn't like hitting on 2s?
I'm confused why it says
What's up?
Celestial Fury there and nowhere else, but so that's a
Because-
weird list thing apparently.
I don't know, yeah. I mean, why not, I guess?
Yeah. Should be on all of them, but
I
yeah,
mean, for 0 points, why not? Yeah.
sure. Weird.
But
But in
there's-
any case,
there's a whole-
British sharpness.
The whole 12 drops and 22 unit strength.
Yep.
Go, Lex, go.
He's not playing Basileia, he's playing flying.
Yeah,
Air Force.
that's so gross.
Hey, Corey, what's Daniel bringing?
Oh, poor Daniel. Poor Daniel's bringing Forces of Nature. He's got 2 Earth Elemental hordes that will never see anything the whole game. He's got the Riverborn Naiad Worm Riders with the Brew of Sharpness, which normally I love. He's got 4 hordes of Scorchwings, 1 with the Fire Oil, 3 Pegasus monsters. He's got 1 Gladewalker Druid with the Ring of Harmony and the Shrouded Saint, and Surge 8. And then he's got 2 Unicorns, both with wings. 1 with the Zephyr Crown for Windblast 8, with Heal 5 and Hex 3. And then the other has the Trickster's Wand for Heal 5 and Hex 2.
Swear
Well,
this
that Hex is going to do nothing.
I swear this is the same Gladewalker Druid copy and pasted every list.
It's a little efficient.
It's pretty good.
Useless against this one.
Right. If Lex wasn't voted to win, then you're doing it wrong. He was 75 to 25. Cool. That's
I mean,
probably about the odds I'd give. Normally I'd be like, oh god, 4 Scorchwing hordes, but then you have 8 units of Elohi that are all speed
Yeah, he's
10.
got all the speed 10 threats.
Yep, the things that can actually connect with Scorchwings if they want to come in and shoot. So that all being said, Corey, how does Daniel beat a flying circus?
The best he can do is probably push the Earth Elementals up and hope that Lex charges them and gets stuck on them, allowing him to hit them then with the Scorchwings and the Riverborn. So just go in layers and try and lead with the Earth Elementals as much as you can, because I don't think the Elohai, even combo charging to the front, necessarily take out an Earth Elemental horde. But again, I just don't see how that's going to work out so well.
Yeah, that one is looking pretty rough. Wish you the best of luck. Lex is a fantastic dude. Take notes. Moving on to table 30. We've got Jared McClure with another... Again, these pictures are fire, guys. Hopefully he's painted his master's list. That's what I'm getting out of this. Playing against him live in the chat right now. It's Tom Annis from from the Northeast.
He's moving around.
Where he belongs,
What are you guys going to move him anyways?
right?
Tomorrow he'll
He's
be on
a
a
nice
different
guy.
team.
He belongs with us.
He's going to keep moving.
I'm the most Midwest Southerner I've ever met. Speaking of which, Felix, do you mind if I take Tom? Because he's playing goblins, cosplaying as dwarves.
Sure, go on ahead.
All right.
When you're ready, lead us off.
Matt, who starts? Me or Felix?
You start with Tom.
All right, so Tom's not legally goblins, but dwarfs. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4 hordes of ironclad with throwing mastiffs. 1, 2, 3, 4 troops of sharpshooters. In Tom's defense, that's super generic. 1, 2, 3 battle drillers, super unique. Those are mincers, but slower and less
Put a fourth
good.
one in.
1, 2, 3 steel juggernauts, the gods of the game, and a Faber Ironheart, a juggernaut with extra stats. So that puts Tom at 18 drops, but only 24 unit strength. But man, God, I love this list.
No items. Also, you missed 3
You
flame
won't
belchers,
win
I'm pretty sure.
because it's Tom.
3 flame belchers.
Yeah, 3 flame belchers.
1, 2, 3 flame belchers. Yeah, the war trombones of the Dwarven list, shattering but slower. You're correct. I did miss it, but man, it's a beautiful list. I hate Tom because it's so pretty, but such a good list.
Alrighty. Shifting over to you, Felix. We've got Trident
Jared
Realms.
McClure. Yeah, with the appropriately named multi-Thule. So he's got 2 regiments of Thule infantry, 1 regiment with Helm of the Drunken Ram, 2 troops of River Guard Tree Leapers, a regiment of Placoderms with the Orbitrying presence to get it to nice unit strength 4, a horde of Oceanborn Naiad Worm Riders with the Chalice of Wrath, 1 Knucker, 1 Kraken, a Naiad Centurion with the Trident of the Drowned Sea and the Boots of Levitation, a Thule Aquamage with the Rising Tides, Icy Breath, and Barkskin, a Naiad Centurion, a Naiad Worm Rider Centurion with the Blade of Slashing, and then the Hidden Ones formation. So, as you've heard before, 2 regiments of Thule, and then a hero. The hero has the Sacred Horn to expand the Thunderous Charge aura for the Cephalopod, so that hopefully get more of those Thule involved on the aura. You've got 14 drops, 24 unit strength.
Awesome. Ready. Oh shit. Okay. Well, this one is a pretty hefty swing. This is the 3rd one of these that we've seen that is over a 75% swap, with almost 90% going for Tom and just over 10% going for Jared. Kyle, I definitely think it's on you at this point, and if I'm wrong, correct me, if you're able.
It's on me.
Fair. How do the Trident Realms overcome Dwarf Filth? Because apparently that's the name of the game this Masters.
So looking at the list, I'd like to point out, first and foremost, that Tom basically built a goblin list in Dwarf. And it's because Tom is too afraid to pilot actual goblins. Looking at the multi-Thule list, how it's going to take over Tom, the polite way to say it is I really don't think it can. Tom's list is just not at all what this multi-Thule list wants to see. But if you're going to play to win, almost your entire strategy is going to have to come down to, in my opinion, the single block of Cavalry Horde, the Oceanborn Naiad Worm Riders. If you can use them starting turn 3, 4, and 5 to pick up 3 of Tom's hordes, or even regiments, really, you'll probably win because your Placoderms are going to hold, your River Guard troops are going to apply pressure but not do a lot. So the Naiad player, are really just overall, the Trident Realms player is going to have to be, can the Naiad Worm Rider horde kill a unit on 3, 4, 5, and maybe 6? If you lose the Naiad Worm Riders to shooting or chaff, you're not going to win. It's going to be entirely based on that specific board, in my mind. But I've never won Masters, so why to judge?
Ready. I believe in you, buddy. You hit this up on table 31.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in you, but Tom's a dick.
Hit this
The
up
key
on
to the
table
South.
31. We have Nick Murray with, again, another fantastic photo, I swear. Just pining over 25 attack Soul Reapers. Some of y'all miss them, but balance is the thing. Playing against him is Kyle Peach. Hopefully I said that right. If I said that wrong, I'm sorry, Kyle. But this was going to be Chris Capture, but we actually got a slide. So we got the correct slide. Kyle bringing another dwarf list. So, Corey, if you want to pick one of these, which is your favorite? You're muted, Corey. That's okay. Travis, if you had to pick one of these, which is your favorite?
The opposite of whatever Corey wants.
Travis wants the dwarves, clearly.
I actually can't get those to open, so. I knew you were going to do that to me, though.
All right, then I'll take the dwarves.
I was going to say, I'm having trouble getting it open for some reason, so.
So I wanted the dwarves. Like I said, I wanted dwarves.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. And I have Kyle's list here.
I do, too. I have it.
I don't.
So.
I know what it is.
I do, too. I almost could probably verbatim say it, but.
We've got 2 regiments of Iron Guard, both with throwing mastiffs. 2 hordes of shield breakers with throwing mastiffs. 2 regiments of Rangers. Interesting. 2 stone priests, both with Radiance of Life and Bane Chant. 1 with Alchemist Curse, 1 with Wither and Perish. And we've got a flame priest with Fireball. We've got a Dwarf Lord on Large Beast, and then we've got the Hammers of the King formation, Bulwarkers with Mastiffs, and the Horde of Ironclad with Mastiffs, and the Banner Bearer. So, dogs, bark, bark, bark. There you have it.
Tied for second in unit strength in the entire event.
Yep, 31 unit strength, 14 units.
And Nick is taking Undead. He has a regiment of Revenants, 2 troops of Race, a regiment of Mummies, 3 hordes of Whites, 1 with Mead and 1 with Boots, a Necromancer with the Inspiring Talisman in Surge 6, an Undead Army BSP with Tome for and Surge 5, Zuinok Iceblood, who has Fireball 10, Surge 8, and Bella Shadow 3, a Canis, and the with Zombie Legions and a Gore Blight for 14 drops and 27 unit strength.
So while I'm reading the incorrect assessment, because again, this was going to be Chris Kapsner. Chris Kapsner had a drop, unfortunately, due to reasons. So this matchup listing is probably incorrect, and this is one where I would probably argue I would imagine people voted closer. Though that said, having played against Kyle's list, I will say I have never rolled a double ones against someone that benefited them before. Or sorry, let me clarify that. He rolled the double ones against me that helped him more than it helped me. That has never happened before. This man, if he can get those dice, I swear to God, he wins Masters. Anyway, it was a fantastic game. But we have, originally this was for Chris Kapsner. We had a 75% win chance against Nick. I would say, I'm going to leave it up to y'all. Between Travis and Corey, who do you think is the underdog in this, and how do they win?
I
Or
like
at least think
the
hard.
list. I like the undead list. I think it's got a good shot against the dwarves.
Okay. Travis, you agree?
I mean, I had to play against Kyle and I played against Nick, so I think they both top.
Going for the easy out. Cool.
Unless our dogs go off, because obviously the undead have to deal with that.
There are a lot of dogs.
And Kyle has a lot of dogs and some crossbow, some regular shooters too. So,
Alrighty. Well,
Nick's got a lot of nerve to shoot through, though.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, I don't know. I think it'll be a good game, though. I mean, they both are gonna slowly move towards each other.
That's true.
So we're saying that it's like maybe a 60-40 as opposed to the 75 that Chris had.
This will be one of the slower games that'll play on.
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Clocks will come into play.
You sure? All right.
They're gonna meet somewhere, and it's just gonna be a slugfest.
Mm-hmm.
I think
And by slugfest, he means purse fight.
y'all are underestimating that, but that's just me. Anyway, heading over to table
What
32.
side are you going?
I don't know, man. These days, I mean, 3 hordes of whites is still 3 hordes of whites.
Oh, I mean, it is, but
That would kill you.
Wrapping up at table 32, at least for the list readings, we have Bruce Monarch. Bruce Monarch, out of Virginia. Another rookie, because we have literally a ton of those. And facing off against him is another definitely not a rookie. Because every rookie had to get paired with someone who could have potentially been a master at any given fucking time, apparently.
Yeah, it's a tough year for it to be a rookie, man.
Yeah, apparently
really is.
Jesus Christ. Springboard Alley.
Which is why I put my
Kings
list
is
in
a
late
tough
enough
game to be a rookie.
Yeah.
I put my list in late enough not to get pulled up into Masters. So I was like, I'm staying the best of the rest. I don't want to be pulled up.
Strategery right there for Felix.
Strategery. Alrighty. Well,
Yeah. Speaking of strategery, Felix, you pick.
I'm gonna take Nate.
I will start you off with Nate, though.
Yes.
Starting off with Nate.
Kings of War, Jesus. So it's pretty standard, I think, at this point. 2 legions of bloodworms, one with hammer measure force, and one with blessing of the gods. Those are just Zambonis. 2 troops of phantoms, one with the blade of slashing. A regiment of shadow hounds with the brew of sharpness. Two hordes of fiends, one with the brew of strength and one with brew of haste. A planar apparition. 3 mind screeches. Let's see. A horror with the conjure staff, lightning bolt 3, bane chant 2, and the vicious aura, as you do. And that's 12 drops, 25 unit strength.
Shout out for Nathan for being the first player I've seen that had both a planner and 3 mind screeches, and therefore will probably take a hit with the new changes. I apologize. Shifting over to Kyle.
All right. I'm not too drunk to read yet. So Bruce coming in with a zombie regiment. Only one. Weird choice to only take 1 regiment, but I'm all for it. 2 troops of wraiths and a regiment with crystal pendant of retribution. First crystal and first wraith regiment. Ayo, Bruce. I love that choice. 1, 2, 3, 4 hordes of zombie trolls. Again, if you're not going to play the meta, make the meta. You know what I'm saying? A horde of whites with no magic items. Still don't hate it. First Necromancer with the Aura Vicious Melee Zombies only and Sacred Horn, so he's got a 9-inch aura. He's got Surge 8, Weakness 2, and Veil of Shadows, meaning that character is going to be Veil of Shadows every turn and Aura Vicious. Second Necromancer with Surge 8, Weakness 2, Inspiring Talismane. He has 3 Cursed Pharaohs, Bold choice, one with Condor Staff Surge 5, then Scorched Earth 2, which Matt can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that is the only Scorched Earth at the U.S. Masters. He has a Pharaoh with Surge 5.
You're wrong.
There were definitely other Scorched Earths.
I'm wrong. Well,
I will correct you. You are wrong.
This makes me bad at math.
Apparently.
Throw that away. He's got a Surge 5 Scorched Earth. He has a Surge 5 only Pharaoh, and then he has a Pharaoh with Surge 5 and Host Shadow Beast 2. That puts him at 14 drops and 22 unit strength. Not my favorite ratio, but an interesting list and definitely off meta. And I am a fan of off meta lists.
The 3 cursed pharaohs have me incredibly confused because they're already bad because they're not good pharaohs to begin with compared to the AOD version. But that's fair. I mean, one with the Scorched Earth and the Surge and the Host. No, they're all bad. I don't know what's going on here.
How'd you say that, Matt? Scorched Earth?
I said. If I said Surged Earth, then that was definitely a what do you call it?
Yep.
Not a Freudian slip. Just call it a slip.
I think you might be drunk.
Just a slip.
I'm catching up. Anyway.
You might be drunk instead of me.
Yep.
Man, I've been playing catch up since the beginning of this.
First off, Bruce, that's a really cool. That's a cool list. Whether you win or lose, that's a dope list, and you should be super proud of taking an off meta.
Well, speaking of Kyle, so here we go. So we have 75% voting against Bruce here to beat up Nathan Clevenger, which, in fairness, knowing Nathan fairly well, I would say that that's probably about accurate. So how does Bruce here beat up resident Kings of War Jesus?
So Bruce, like my normal feedback, I'm going to recommend a multi-stage process. Step 1. Decide which Chaos God from Warhammer Fantasy battles you like and pray to them. Step 2, just get Nate drunk. But if you're going to decide to play it honest, the real answer is going to actually come down to your zombie trolls. Zombie trolls are unabashedly super efficient. Melee or fearless. They win the trades all the time. You've got the ability to support them. You've got the whites. Your zombie trolls, if you can control them, get the charge, get the surge, you're going to win the game. If you let Nate control the tempo, you're going to lose the game. So it's kind of your fault for RNGing into one of the best players in the United States. But, outside of that, just use your zombie trolls really, really well, and you can win.
For the record,
I don't like your matchup. I'm sorry, buddy.
I agree, though, that zombie trolls are actually a stealthy good option that undead typically don't tap into.
So
but
good.
They're just
Nate,
under whites.
Nate is also better.
If whites got nerfed, everyone would be playing zombie trolls. I swear. They're actually amazingly good. It's just whites are better.
Yeah. I'd say, Bruce, if you got paired against me, you have a real chance to win. But paired against Nate, God, he's like the Keith Randall of Night Stalkers. I'm sorry, buddy. You're probably going to start the tournament 0-1, and I don't know how to help you past that.
Rink. Moving on to we have finished all 32 tables at the U.S. Masters. If you were in Best the Rest, don't get me wrong, I would love to do a matchup cast for y'all as well, but these take unbelievable amounts of work, and if you were here at the beginning, you know how stressed I was getting this running. So we are not doing that, but I have all the respect. Please come to Best the Rest if you haven't already. It's going to be an amazing time. You'll get to meet all the people playing Kings of War. It's going to be, at this point, over 100 people at this event, which will make it one of the largest events in the country, if not the largest event for Kings of War that has ever occurred. It's going to be competing up there with Adepticon, I'm pretty sure.
We'll be the biggest U.S. event, Matt. We should be number 1 U.S. and we're going to be encroaching on the U.K., which is like 80 countries or something like that. Europe is weird. but basically America is par with like 80 countries. So we're the UN. We're on par with the UN. That's all I'm going to say.
Sure. Shout out to the rookies this year. I'm not going to put up the other slides, which are qualifiers. That's just a lot of extra work that I don't want to get into too much this time. But we had a whole lot of additional like first-time people at Masters this year. From the South, we have Jesse Garrett, Jordan Braun, and Justin Robbins. From the West Coast, we had Danny Johnson, Ben Wise. I don't know that one's correct. Nate Murray. From the Midwest, we had Jason Burr and Sean Troy. From the Northeast, we had Bill Stein, Kayla Amin. We had Jonathan Deason. We had Dale Motley. From the Pacific Northwest, we had Russell Romeo, Jared McClure, and Ben McClure. And from the Southeast, we had Kevin Durree and Kevin Monarch. I want to say it was Kevin. And if I'm wrong, then correct me. But we had a ton of first-time Masters players this year. I would say we're closing in on just under a third of the field, which is pretty crazy. So that's amazing.
My hope is they win, by the way.
Right, sure. Like, I mean, it'd be a great story, right? Yeah, we had a great showing. Going into some additional stats here. So, we have, get this back up. Things that y'all will be interested in and that we're here to talk about with the time we have left. Corey, if you got to go to bed, don't feel bad about it. This is a good time to drop out.
I've been sleeping for 30 minutes, man. Don't worry.
Oh, cool. Excellent. We're going to end the cast no later than 40 minutes from now, for the record, for the people who are still up. We're going to dive into some more specific things, talk a little bit more in depth about a couple of specific lists, a couple of specific matchups. If you are here and you've been watching, I'm going to do a self shout out. That's my spoiled privilege as being the guy who's running this crap. If you are here in the chat, please go follow my Twitch channel, not the YouTube channel. Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Methuselah0. That's the thing that actually pays me. YouTube doesn't do that, but we're going to host this on YouTube because that makes it easier for y'all. So do the hard thing and go to the Twitch channel and sub to me so I can make money there, and then you guys can watch it ad-free here, hopefully, fingers crossed, or whatever y'all do. I suspect you'll have ad blockers. I hope you have ad blockers. If you don't, talk to me and I'll set you up. Anyway, now that the self shout-out's done, first pick for matchups in terms of things that people want to see on the live stream at Masters, which we will be hosting. We have Keith Randall versus Eric Trowbridge, which, as far as matchups go, that one's fantastic, in my opinion. That's definitely a hot one to cast. The second most
there couldn't be a better pair.
Yeah, right. Second highest for the first most wanted matchup was going to be Jeff Radigan versus Alex Chavez. Everything else is not even close for first most picks. I guess a shout out to Jeff Schilkin and Jesse Garrett for number 3, which, in fairness, I think that's a good matchup. Which, once we get to second best matchups, which I will say is typically a little bit more distributed, we have a lot more differentiation. We have still Jeff versus Alex. We have still Keith versus Eric. So those matchups are still even when we hit the second most popular matchups, those are still at the top. But following that, we have Jeff versus Jesse. We have Dustin versus Kevin. And we have Mike versus Joseph. Mike Rossi versus Joseph is probably the surprise shout-out here out of the ones that I would expect. I don't know why people want to see Dustin beat the poor snot out of Kevin.
Brutal.
Yeah, that's just rude, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, so
it's the South voting for that. All the South people just wanted it.
Voting for it.
I don't know, man. I'd have to dig into that, and that's 91 different responses that I have to dig into.
Not you want to, though.
Masochists.
I'm gonna do
Matt,
that
how
later.
many?
Yeah, I was gonna say you want to.
How many cameras we're gonna have this year?
So, this year at US Masters, we're gonna have 2 live stream table of the US Masters. We will have 1 table streamed at Best of the Rest. Best of the Rest will start slightly out of sync with US Masters, so we'll have 2 tables starting for US Masters. That'll get deployment, a couple of opening turns. And we'll have the Best of the Rest table starting in with that. How we're going to do that is will be me and, I don't understand why I'm drawing a blank right now. I should know this, Grant Barnes. We'll be doing the live stream in person. And then we will have an open Discord. So the same Discord that we are doing this live cast right now will be open for anyone to come in and jump into. We will have basically a line form so that way if there's like, I don't expect there to be 20 people jumping in to try to commentate at the same time, but if that should happen, then we'll try to get a minimum of 2 additional people to help commentate. So that way we'll have 4 people at once talking about these games. We're going to swap between them fairly regularly, so it's going to be very much if you've ever watched professional golf. That way we've got the opening phases, we'll talk about that, and then the middle phases, and the late phases, once things are getting really dicey and exciting, we're going to try to swap back as fast as we can to make sure we're covering as much as we can. And that way everyone at home can follow and enjoy. That is the game plan. We successfully did that at Lone Wolf, albeit with hotel internet. From what I've seen, we will have better than that, fingers crossed, and definitely a better setup because I had to run Lone Wolf on a dinky 7-year-old laptop, and it was still half decent. And Masters, we will have a full-on desktop, making sure that it is a professionally run stream with professional stuff.
It'll
Anyway,
be good, Matt. You're going to do a good job.
Yeah, that's my spiel anyway. So I'm happy that that's the plan for Masters live streams. In terms of matchups here, we can delve a little bit more into the Keith Randall versus Eric Trowbridge matchup, which I'm sure Kyle wants to talk more about. So while he's doing that, I'm going to take my first well-deserved get up and take a pee. Since I haven't gotten to stand for 3 hours. Have at it, Kyle.
You can just step out, Matt. It's fine. All we need is me, Travis, and Felix. Pretty sure that Corey's asleep, so we don't need to worry about that. So let's look at the history of Keith Conroy beating the ever-living hell out of the Midwest.
It's already wrong.
The answer is, does any Midwest player play Keith? They lose. You look at historical accuracy, the answer is Keith wins. Kyle Poole plays Keith. Kyle Poole loses because Kyle Poole makes a mistake. Stephen Malone, Secret Chat Cave member number 1, plays Keith. Stephen Malone loses because Stephen Malone makes a mistake. Eric Trowbridge plays Keith. He makes a mistake. Does he win U.S. Masters and Keith doesn't, creating massive internal turmoil? Absolutely, because Keith is an elf player and he deserves nothing in life. But do the Secret Chat Cave members, me, Andrew Summers, Steve Malone, Felix Castro, ever beat Keith? The answer is 0% of the time. 100% Keith Randall is the bane of the Secret Chat Cave. Travis, Tim, Felix Castro, Keith, Corey, anyone can comment on this, but I'll have you know, are we better than Keith as people? Yes. Can we beat Keith on the table? Absolutely not. So that's just empirical evidence. Travis Tim is laughing because he's also had his ass treated like an open farmer's market by Keith.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sure
we're
did.
better than Keith, except we can't beat Keith. That's just science.
I did bring Rift Forge though.
They'll pay the
Yeah, it's because you believe in sports votes like me. Keith believes in winning tournaments. So I will summarize
But did he
the
win the
entire
tournament?
history of the Midwest against Keith with a single gesture, and it's this. That's for you, Keith. We understand that you play elves. You're very good at elves, and you hate the Midwest, and you don't believe in us as people. You don't respect us as humans. We get it. Also, I rolled a 6 to waiver your Dragons, and an 8 would have won me the tournament. I'm not saying that a 6 is better than 8, but you tripped over a stool and I didn't. So even though you won, you forgot how to walk as an adult human, and I feel like maybe that's worth pointing out in a public forum. So Travis Tim saw it. He saw you trip over a stool when I failed to beat you on turn 7.
I should have put a kid over there too, so he could have tripped over a kid. I did bring a couple. Damn it, that was a miss by me.
That's right. Also, looking at the chat, Adam Ballard, acclaimed U.S. Masters, if you can count him as that, said I should just be better than Keith.
And he backed
It's
out of
easy.
this.
So
He ran away.
one of us drank a quarter of a bottle of gin tonight, and the other one is a lawyer. So you can decide who has more sway in society.
I don't know that Adam's a lawyer. Is he a lawyer? I didn't actually know.
No, Keith.
No,
We're referring
okay.
specifically
There
to
we
Keith.
go.
We're ignoring Adam.
I thought you were
has
talking about Adam.
opinions
I was like, I don't think
that
Adam's a
don't
lawyer.
count because he won Masters.
Far from a lawyer.
No, once you win U.S. Masters, you no longer matter.
Oh, that's fair.
That's science.
Congrats, Adam.
Yeah.
That's why I matter.
Let's talk about a little bit more interesting one before we dive into some of the top 5 picks. Mike Rossi versus Joseph Bourdes. Kyle's silent on that one.
We brought the Mountain Dew out too. Full on.
He's here to. He's serious now.
I'm out of
He's
here.
going.
He's
Alex,
here for
this
the
is-
long haul.
Yeah, look at this.
Right.
We got 30 minutes left. It's okay.
I'm here for a long time, not
I
a
would
good time.
wait till 4 a.m. if I was drinking Mountain Dew.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd
I've
have a
got.
heart attack
Don't
and die.
get me wrong. Sponsored
That's
by
fair. Yeah.
definitely not this.
It was a sponsor. Wow, nice. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because I think Borghesi's list is pretty much was Rossi's list from a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And they did play each other, at Pilgrimage. So it's one of those weird like master apprentice sort of deals. Be interested to see how Borghese does with it. So
yeah.
because, Mike's been doing dwarves for forever. Yeah, be interested to see how they go because Joe's a great opponent to go up against. He was definitely a good sport when I was. Every time he killed one of my halfling units at Mountaineer, I came up with a sob story about that unit that he just murdered. That he was just making him really feel really bad for killing that regiment of Braves. It's like, oh, that was an orphanage people. They all decided to fight for the Shires, and you just killed them all. And yeah. Yeah, did that for every unit of his. Every unit he took off the board for me, I came up with a sob story. So I give him credit for putting up with that. So
That's Corey. It sucks because I was just about to ask him about what do you think about people's top 5 picks for the first U.S. Masters fantasy draft, where, for the record, number 1 is Dustin Howard with 53. Man, if you were there, I'd expect you to be at the top. But Dustin Howard, 53, commanding a 60% pick rate of the field at number 1. Following that, we got a pretty close spread between Jeff Schilkin and Jeff Radigan at about just over 35%, so 37% total. Following that, we had Jeff O'Neill and Alex Chavez, both definitely respectable picks in my mind. Pretty easy. I got that wrong. Sorry, Jeff actually beats out by 1 vote. Jeff and both Jeffs. So there's a lot of Jeffs in this game. And then following up that, we had Keith Randall and trailing by a pretty big jump at that point, Eric Trowbridge, which is still the next biggest jump at that point. Then we start getting into kind of the middle ground, but that gives us a solid lead with Dustin, Jeff, Keith, Jeff, Eric, and Alex. So clearly the answer is if you're named Jeff, you're going to win U.S. Masters.
right. Well, I think a big part of that too is just the fact that there's so many rookies and people that most people probably taking the poll have never heard of.
That's true. That's true.
So you're really at that point, you're almost like a third of the names are going to be those people everyone's voting for.
Yeah, I'd say we have a third of the names as people who, with enough luck, win Masters. We have a third of the names as very, very clearly countercharge players. Felix and people like Felix. Then you have a third of the players who are rookies, and they're just wild cards. You never know where a rookie's going to land. And my hope is that rookies take first, second, third, fourth, and fifth, and just completely blow the meta up, because a lot of the rookie lists also are not meta. I have a shot because Travis Tim is too afraid to play this year. He wants to help.
Not wrong,
but we'll see how it goes. But really, Felix nailed it on the head. We have a third of the players who are like, with the right matchups, you win Masters. A third of the players who are like Felix and less cool, and a third of the players who are rookies, and you just can't predict a rookie's placement, right? You just don't know where it's going to sit. So this is probably Jeff O'Neill's year to actually win Masters, and Eric Trowbridge's year to be the first double Masters. Because Travis is too afraid to play this year with me and Eric at the event.
Not wrong. I mean, I'll just tie a game anyways and take second or third. I'm good at it.
Yep.
If you don't play, you automatically can't come in last. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In terms of who we think can win it all, we actually have a clear winner, which, shocker, this matches up, and it should, with people's first pick, which is Dustin Howard. So is this his year? Still only 14 votes, so it's actually not like it's not a commanding lead by any stretch.
Is that like a kiss of death thing?
D-How's going to get second.
Yep, that's how it's going to work.
And the person who beats D-How is going to be Tom Annis, but then Tom Annis is going to lose the tournament, but he's going to beat D-How.
We have Jeff Schilkin, and if I had to guess, this is Radigan. No, Jeff O'Neill. Okay, so it is another Jeff, though.
Yep, Jeff.
Coming in for second, and Jeff Radigan for third. There you go. So
it's the year for Jeff.
All three of the fucking Jeffs.
Yeah.
Coming in for those top positions of who we think can win it all. No one with like
we think about round 6. I think if round 6 goes perfectly, Radigan doesn't stand a chance to beat the other top runners. He doesn't really have a good answer against D-How or Jeff O'Neill. So if we look at the other top runners, I think Radigan is a shoo-in for third or fourth. But I really don't see how Radigan takes first at U.S. Masters. There's so many lists that by round 5 or round 6, Radigan doesn't want to face. And I think if Dustin Howard can make it through rounds 1 or 2, he has the counter list to make it all the way to the top. So D-How just can't afford to lose day 1. Yeah, if he makes it through day 1, he's got the list to beat the day 2 Boogeyman list, right? He's got a list to counter Boogeyman. Sure. So D-How's worst case scenario is he wins round 1 and round 2 gets faced against an absolute counter and then just gets crushed. But I see Radigan top 5. I don't see him top 1. And if I had to pick right now, hands down, who wins U.S. Masters, on straight list, it's going to be either Jeff O'Neill or Eric Trowbridge. I think Eric's dwarf list is just batshit crazy, and nobody believed in his orcs, and he won then. So that's where it's at.
Fair enough. Felix, your thoughts on that?
I mean, I lost to that list last week, so I'd be okay if Eric won it because I can say, yeah, he beat me. But I mean, I'm looking at a lot of the lists right now. It's not like in previous years I kind of look at one person and one list and go like, yeah, that's, because like last year with Adam's list, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be a tough one. Your Eric one is like, that's gonna be a tough one. I mean, yeah, we can look at Radigan's list and go, yeah, it's a tough one, but I mean, we've already identified counters, right? Like it's there are counters to that list. It's just a matter of matchups and all that stuff. So, but I really can't find a list or a player that I'm like, yeah, that guy's gonna win it. Yeah, who I think is gonna win it? Man, I mean, it could be Jeff O'Neill's year, or it could be Justin Howard's year. It's just a matter of matchups and what they end up having to face during the actual length of the tournament, because you can only make so much off of the first round matchups. So
You gotta say, is it because of scenario? Because that's the drinking contest. Anyway,
We've done a
That's
good
because Garrett Trowbridge only plays chess now.
right, he's a has-been. What can we say?
He gave up on kings for chess.
Yes, it's a boring answer. I really don't have one that I feel like could win the whole tournament right now, because I just don't see anything that's just like based off of the lists and who's on the field. Like, there's just so much of the field I don't know.
Yeah.
Because Schilkin's a strong one as well, but it's like
a third of the field
Oh.
is rookies. A third of the
Right.
field is players who have never touched Masters
Yeah.
before, which that does, like, we may be like, oh my god, like, rookies, blah, blah, blah. Clearly they haven't been to Masters, so therefore they don't have a chance. It's like, but that's not necessarily true. Rookies are just, this is their first time at Masters, so we could
Right.
be seeing a whole lot of upsets.
And some of them have qualified before.
Let's be honest. The
Yeah.
player who has the best chance of winning Masters is right above me. It's Travis Tim. But he thought maybe it'd be better to help run Masters instead of actually win for once. So because Travis isn't playing, I really don't know how to rank my top three.
Mhm.
Because my top three was going to be Travis's reflection, and Travis's shadow. So I'm just at a complete loss now
And I'd make top
where the
30,
game's
you're
going to
right.
go.
With those picks.
You were all the three, baby. I love you, homie.
I know, I love you too.
In terms of
I mean, I
best
beat the
region,
shit out of you at the last tournament, but
in terms of best region, which was a question that I asked mostly as a tiebreaker for the bonus prizes for the fantasy draft, we did have South coming in number one, which should probably not be that big of a surprise considering it's been the last fucking 6 years in a row. But that said, this year I actually disagree with some of these second picks, because second pick was Midwest, and I think, well, actually, because I'm going to get it wrong, because I got it wrong the last time that I commented on this, I have to go check, and it was either the Mid-Atlantic or the Midwest, but one of those has a freaking ridiculous team. And it's definitely going to be a close run this year, I think.
the Midwest would have won a couple of years ago if it wasn't for, let's go with creative dice strategies. So the Midwest is definitely due for a chance to win because as a former Midwest, Felix is the Midwest, Travis doesn't count. The Midwest is the best region, short of the Brawlers. But the Brawlers don't come to win, they come to drink. So the Midwest is basically due, is what I'm saying. You get rid of the person who had creative dice rolling techniques, and the Midwest is basically a guaranteed win. I'd say the Southeast is going to win, but Jeff O'Neill shoots too much for us to ever win best region. So that pretty much leaves the Midwest and the South. There's just no other answers.
I did double check to make sure that I had it correct this time and didn't accidentally attribute the wrong region, and it is the Midwest. So the Midwest is the team that I predict has absolutely, like, it's in my mind, it's head to head between South and Midwest in terms of like best region. Both teams are pretty
Pretty sure it's
freaking
always
stacked.
been that way.
yeah, it's been that way for a
No,
while.
Just the one year the Midwest should have won. There
I
was a
disagree.
scandal.
There were shots for the Mountain last year. There were shots for Southeast a couple of years.
Mountain was down a person last year.
You're
Was
biased.
it?
I wasn't there.
You're too Southern to have an
Oh,
opinion.
that's fair. That's fair. That okay. That touche. As a member of the South region, that's won 6 years in a row. I'm just gonna sit back and just remember that time that we won on that tiebreaker of sports that we definitely won because of being Mark.
I'd like to
Yes,
point out,
you're
for
not
the
wrong.
record, on YouTube, Mark Cox has carried the South for 6 years. And I think maybe it's time for y'all to let Mark Cox take a break. All right? Maybe someone else try for once. Just saying.
They have to
Get a
beat him in
sports vote that isn't Mark
qualifications.
Cox based.
He's won.
He's qualifying.
Yeah, he's qualified
he's-
every year.
Schwann's gone.
Yeah, because he's
Indisputably-
slightly above average, it doesn't mean that
No,
he's
no, no,
not
no,
the
no.
only reason the South gets sports votes.
Hold up. He is. This is the toughest region in the entire, in my opinion, in the country to qualify for, and he's made it every time in the top 8. He hasn't had to murk.
Me and Mark Cox wavered each other for 6 terms at U.S. Masters Chicago, and then just basically shook hands on a draw. He's not that hard to beat, all right? He's a sports vote player with a Ratkin list. Let's be very clear about
got
that.
Northern
You guys
Alliance.
ride on his sports coattails.
I'm just saying.
You wish you had a Travis Tim in the South. At most, you have Tom Annis, and he steals his list from other regions.
Like,
Yeah.
Travis Tim can drag up the average of the mountain team, but, the South's average is 90, so what are you going to do? Travis may get 100 on his
Mark
test
Cox
scores.
plus Dustin Howard and then 6 fillers. All right? The South could get the same result if only 2 people went. Let's be super clear about that. I mean, I love everyone in the South, but you really just have Dustin Howard and Mark Cox for sports votes, and then the other 6
I
people
think Ryan gets some sports votes.
basically just fill in the requirements.
Matt when he plays.
He's sports in pain. You know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes Aaron Chapman almost wins Masters, then loses to Alex Chavez, but I'm not bringing that up. Remember, my best claim to fame is countercharger. All right, let's be very clear. I am the best mediocre player in the United States, but I will certainly shit talk the South into the end of time.
Just the South.
We
I feel
deserve
you
that.
should talk anybody because you love everybody.
No, I love the rest of the regions. The South is Mark Cox, and then people who wish they were Mark Cox.
Matt, do you
That's-
wish you were Mark Cox?
Look, man, the man has led a fantastic and amazing life. I would not wish myself to be Mark Cox, but I do respect the man.
Pretty sure you've thrown up at Mark's house more than Mark has.
That's
That might be. Yeah. Yes, Matt?
It's at least it's happened more than
So
once.
I'm going to completely flip the script and take over Matt's stream
No, you're not.
and
That's
that's who
fine.
he thinks the vote for countercharger is, because as we know, countercharger is the hardest award to win. So around the circle, U.S. 2023 countercharger award. Let's start with Matt. Who gets
Mike.
countercharger this year?
I'm letting you get away with this because we have 13 minutes to burn.
I know.
Countercharger at Masters this year. That's hard.
The hardest
award.
award to predict, baby.
That's even more hard because there are so many people that I just don't know them well enough. Like, because there are people who are rookies that I know. So, like, I know Jesse Garrett, I know Jordan Braun, I know Justin Robbins. Like, I know them. The South has a lot of rookies, but they're all from my hometown, so I know who they are. And I know where they position.
Jesse
in my
Garrett.
mind. I think Jesse
Says he would lose round 1 if he listened to my advice.
I put him in the top half of the room. And maybe that's biased for the South. I don't know, but I would say Jesse's top half of the room.
Jesse's good.
Yeah. I would say that about all 3 of those players, honestly. For being 3 rookies and Masters, they are good fucking players. Which makes it hard, though, because that's the thing. I know those South players, and I know where they're going to land, but then there's 20 plus rookies almost. There's a ton of them, so I that throws so much into the loop, and I would expect a rookie to end up right in the middle if I had to guess. Like a high scoring.
That's
rookie.
a cop out answer. Give us a name, Matt.
I'm working on it. I'm trying. trying to think of all the lists, the ones that I like think would end up smack. Honestly,
Hey, would it help you? I went
hold,
first.
hold on.
Eric Trowbridge gets U.S. countercharge.
I don't see, but I think Eric's better than that. That's the thing. I think there's enough.
Didn't you just
No,
say he
Eric
would?
is so focused on chess, he doesn't care about the game anymore. He's going to go 3-3 and get countercharger because he's more worried about if he can castle the Rook Queen than Kings of War.
I mean, maybe, but like,
He's going to get countercharger, and that's just how it's going to happen.
My votes would either be for Marcelo or for Mark.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because Mark is definitely good. I think that the room is really skewed. There's a lot of people that I think are going to float toward the bottom of the room. No offense, I love y'all. This is not a judgment of you as a person. This is just me being like, your list, the room, blah blah blah. And then there's a lot of people I think are going to float toward the top. And there's not a lot in the middle. It's a very skewed room. We're going to see a lot of big shifts. I don't think we're going to see a lot of middle line stuff this year. That's my guess.
Do you think this might be one of the more unaverage masters?
That would be my prediction. I think with changes that are coming with newer updates, that'll help. But at least currently, I think we're going to see a lot of like, okay, this is the skew list beating the skew list, and we see the expectations, and unless dice just go really fucking crazy, that's my guess. And
Give us a name, Matt. Who gets countercharge?
Countercharge for me would. I'll give it to Marcelo. I think Marcelo is probably right in the middle. I like his list. I think that list loses.
Good vote.
Yeah, I think that list loses against a lot of the top runners who are more skewed and have better, more flexibility to meet more matchups than his does. Versus the bottom half of the room where I think he still has the skew that he has brought to the table is strong enough to beat a lot of those lists that just don't have the experience. And he's also just a good player. So, I think his list is kind of slightly above average, or how do I put this? He as a player is above average. His list is slightly middle to lower, and that's only because it's a skew list, not because it's a bad list. Just skew has its problems. That's the problem with bringing a skew list, is you run into bad matchups. And because of that puts him right in the middle. That's my thought.
Yeah. Countercharger is the hardest one to predict in the entire room.
Yeah, no, it is. It's. I mean, that, like I said, and that's a prestigious award.
Lucky
to
for
go
you,
for,
Travis
right?
is next. So, hey, as a countercharge holder, let's just be honest. Countercharge peak of the bell curve, right? I point out to Alex Chavez every year. Masters is easy. You have to be the best. Countercharger, you have to land amongst the average and still be the best. So, Travis, who wins countercharger this year?
We don't have shit, I should know this.
You can't walk your way out of this corner. You can't be more countercharger than me, baby.
Well, he's won it twice, so that should say something. Dan Kamek, the person who shares my last name almost that everyone gets wrong.
It's true. Dan has,
I've got one more. I think I have one
Dan
more
has at
countercharger than him.
least two. He might have three, and honestly, I wouldn't remember because he has definitely been declared average so many times. But he's not here, so I can't pick him.
Yeah, you need to back off the brawlers territory. All right, stay in Texas. First or last. That's all you're good for.
Drinking and average is what brawlers do.
Speaking of drinking,
It's Mountain Dew, but
I mean, he's drinking.
there's no alcohol in that. I'm going to switch to rum. Travis, who's countercharger this year?
Tyler.
That's fair. I like that pick.
Tyler. God, he plays
Schultz.
Dead Zone. He doesn't even remember how to play Kings of War.
That's why it's a good average pick.
But his EOD is still good.
Yeah. EOD's just a good in the middle army.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
there's a lot of rum in that.
And like his EOD list is slightly, again, it's I agree with that pick. That's a really good pick because like his EOD list in my mind is slightly below the bell curve in terms of the list, but I would put Tyler's slightly above the bell curve in terms of, ability. And I think between the two that evens out. That puts him right dead smack in the middle. That's a good call.
Felix, who do you got for countercharger?
Probably not anyone's gonna get it because it's sad when everyone before you names a person, you're like, oh yeah, they could definitely win countercharge. But the one that appeared in my head when the
There's
question was first posed,
64 counterchargers in the room, right?
sure. I don't know why, but the name that appeared in my head was Ben Stoddard.
Sure.
I mean,
I can see Ben.
Definitely
Right,
sports
Ben,
city up there,
always an author, never a winner.
paint's good. I'm not certain about the list, but
No, but you bring up a good point, right? Countercharger is not middle battle; it's middle overall.
Mm-hmm.
So if we look at the chat, by the way, ignoring Felix, which is how most of Kings of War
Pretty common,
proceeds,
yeah.
we have Michael Sigler for countercharge from Adam Ballard, U.S. Masters, and human easiest to ignore because he's just a TO. We also have Kevin Dury.
Again, a rookie.
No, Kevin, they're going to be like top 5 or bottom 5. He's not going to be in the middle. He's either going to be like absolutely close to the top or absolutely close to the bottom. He's too aggressive to get countercharger. He just doesn't believe in taking the draw. I would give Evelyn Smith countercharger, but until they give him back his explodey skeletons, it's just not going to happen. Until he gets the Restless Dead back, he's just screwed forever.
Yep, I know.
But that's what chat has. Chat has Kevin and
Well, also Devlin when he initially
Mike
gets
Sigler.
added
I think
to
Michael
the-
Sigler is actually a good call for countercharger.
Yeah. No, not based on last year's performance. He's
We
gonna
also
he's-
say Devlin when
I
he
mean-
inevitably gets added back to the Southeast team. You get the Devlin because it's just
Yeah.
The,
Well,
the
let's
guy-
be clear, right? Masters is the top 64, so you figure drops and changes. You really end up with like the top 50 players and then 14 filler for
Sure,
most
but
Masters events.
filler depends.
So
but
yeah.
anywhere
Some of the
between
fillers
top
deserved it.
30 is a win. Yeah, a lot of the filler deserve it. So usually at Masters, anyone in the top above countercharger from like 32 to first, a lot of it is luck. You get the right matchup, the right table, the right mission, etc. To win Masters, you just need to be lucky 6 times in a row. That's my opinion as someone who's never won Masters and therefore is not at all hashtag biased. But this Masters is definitely going to be interesting because I think, as Matt's pointed out, we have the largest number of rookies probably since ever going to Masters this year.
there were a few at New York.
What to say? There's probably a number in the second Texas one in 21, but that was mainly because folks haven't out.
Yeah.
COVID and everything.
Let me rephrase. This is the largest number of rookies with lists that make you sit and think. Like, there's not a lot
Sure.
of net lists
Sure. Yeah.
on
I
rookies
would
this
agree
year.
with
A lot
that.
of the rookies have brought completely unique lists.
I think that's an accurate call. It's definitely been a fresh. Some of them definitely fresh. But
Hey, fresh isn't always bad, right? Sometimes you
Right,
can
right.
win with a losing list because your opponent underestimates it. Other times you're just really happy Travis has decided to be a co-TO instead of playing.
I mean, or Adam.
Yeah, Adam too.
Or
Corey.
Adam. Well,
Or
look,
he's
Adam's
not
not
that- I
even
mean,
a good
there's-
player. He just won with Night Stalkers. That doesn't count.
I mean,
There's only what the third most played list at this event is Goblin. So I'd have to check. It's
Yeah,
definitely
there's like
pretty...
5 U.S. Masters. Adam's not even special at this point. No, but I think I'll leave the group with this sort of wisdom, right? We've got a couple minutes. I think the chat was good. We spent basically all of 3rd edition and all of 2nd edition saying that Imperial Dwarves are bad because they're slow, they can't play the mission, etc. Yet we see Imperial Dwarves as the most played list. We see trash meta taken in limited forms, so to counter some of the spam. So I think the rock, paper, scissors trash meta of Kings of War is incredibly rich, incredibly balanced. And I think there's probably 15 to 20 players who have a real shot with the right matchups to be U.S. Masters. And I'm excited to see myself prove wrong and have a rookie win 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. That's what I'm hoping for. Just complete meta shakeup, get crushed. I hope I lose round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'd love to win Wooden Spoon. But in my head, what we're going to see is a bunch of rookies take middle of the road, and then the veterans go super high end and super low end. And I think that's an incredibly healthy state for Kings of War. I think the rookies will all take the middle field, and the veterans are going to wind up on the extremes.
That is fair. We'll wrap this up. That is a good comparison, though, in my mind. While I'm pulling all this crap up, because it's going to take me 10 minutes to find Go Live, yada, 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 day 1, because this is the one that people are going to want when it matters. Assuming I can even get the link. I don't care about the chat. I care about the stream.
I care about
I feel like this is the wrong stream key, so we'll probably have to update this later, but I'll post in the chat for now and assume that it'll be correct when it matters. This is currently the link to the Masters Day 1 stream. Again, our plan, I've already got those set up, so I've already got the stream set up. For the most part, I'll have to do a little bit of minor editing Friday night when I get in. But for the most part, we should be way ahead of where we were tonight, because I definitely underestimated the amount of time it was going to take to do the slides. That one's on me, so I apologize for the delay. We also had an OBS mess up. OBS sometimes is a fantastic program. Sometimes it just says, hey, your resolution's screwed. So I have to spend 15 to 30 minutes fixing that, and even one of the 2 first slides got messed up by that. I apologize. That included Marcelo, among others, where it was wonky. But we got it. Appreciate everyone for coming to the Masters matchup stream. We'll be back here in just about a week. Just under a week, technically.
now, yeah.
Jesus. So, this has been a month. But we'll be back next week to give you live coverage of U.S. Masters, of 2 tables of the Masters teams, 1 table of Best of the Rest, which we also hope to stream. I want to give you a nice mix of perspectives, also give you kind of like a perspective on the not quite as competitive side of Kings of War, where you can see the U.S. Best of the Rest, and those players doing everything they can to show off as they do. If Felix isn't on the top tables, then blame Felix.
Yeah, probably not going to happen. Don't worry about it.
But yeah. I thanks everyone for coming in and watching. The Masters live streams will be on this YouTube channel, so definitely if you want to sub to this channel, that's the one reason to do it, is for the US Master stream. I'm going to do a second self shout out, and that's only because I know to do this, because that's what pays me money, is twitch.tv/Methuselah0 is the one that pays me actual money. YouTube doesn't pay me shit. So go follow that. That pays me at least like 2 cents whenever you're like have it open in a window. But YouTube is where we'll have it. That will make it easier for y'all to watch the actual action at home. That is by choice. That is to make it easier for y'all. And I am so excited to meet and greet and see all of you here in Omaha, Nebraska in 1 week. All right. Much love to everyone. We are going to sign off.
Take it easy.
See ya.